Vertari.
Good evening, Internet.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
What up? Welcome to our second ever stream, right, of Natural 20. Happy to have you, for those of you who have joined us. For those who haven't, well, you're missing out. So, I guess before we dive in, first of all, big, massive thank yous to everybody who has joined in. The last time you joined us yesterday for our painting and chatting session. Those types of things will be happening more and more because I'm a nerd and I figured why not, stream while.
Can I come next time?
Sure. Right? Anybody who wants to come can come paint and chat.
I like
even
painting.
you at home. But it's
That's
virtually.
totally cool, but little warning.
Yeah. Little warning.
More than the Twitch stream announcement going on my phone.
No. It's called, how quick can you get? Gentlemen, it is called surprise stream. They sneak up on you. Before we dive into this evening's session, a couple of really quick announcements. I will let Steven take it away with our socials.
Hey, everybody. So, as Alan said, second episode of Natural 20 on the internets. We love all the support. We really like having you guys out there. So, rate, review us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on Twitter at D&D Natural 20, Facebook Natural_20, and Instagram Natural 20 D&D. We post things throughout the days. It's a really great time. It's a great way for people to find out who we are, where we are, and what we're doing. So check us out. Thanks.
Cool. Also, thank you, Steven. Also, we just started because it's starting out, frankly, as a way for us to rep the cool merchandise. So I've started creating some really neat and fun and topical t-shirts and things like that for, honestly, guys at home, it's really for us to geek out about what we do on a weekly basis. This is one example of those things, is Bear Not Werber, which is probably one of my favorite and funniest Babar moments thus far, and we're only one episode in. Nice. Smile. So,
Took you a whole episode.
Has anyone entered you lately?
Oh, God.
That one was fun.
That one was fun.
Freudian slip.
When you talk with plants, you never know what you're gonna say.
Nope. And you'll realize I never talked to plants again.
Right? Like, no.
That was enough.
Plants did not know how to respond to you.
That was enough.
I suppose the only other things that we have here are a couple other quick announcements. Thank you once again to our friends over at Crafty Gamer Shop. They are wonderful. We are actually, we have another one of their scents going this evening. It is Small Library, because I smelled it and I was like, I like that.
I like libraries.
Small library.
Only small ones.
Also, friends on Twitch and anybody who watches this on YouTube after the fact, or anybody listening out there in podcast land, if you would like to get a discount at Crafty Gamer Shop, use the code ROLLNAT20.
What's that code?
ROLLNAT20. ROLLNAT20 to get 20% off the cost of your order, as the garbage truck in my neighborhood decides now is the time to pick up trash. Thank you.
Yeah, they were blocking the way in. So
gotta love that. So we're going to
it's a nice shirt.
we're gonna ignore them, frankly, and
Rachel, that
I suppose now is kind of the time to get into it. I don't think I missed anything, did I?
No. Socials.
Our best pals at Crafty Gamer Shop. www.thecraftygamer.com.
Let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Let's go ahead
nice.
and dive into what has been going on. So I'm going to go ahead and change the music. And hopefully we'll, as the strange mechanical entities around us begin to clank and clatter, casting a cacophonous assault on the senses.
You said I couldn't be Warforged.
Yeah, so
Now there's
fun fact, there's Warforged. It's canon. There's Warforged.
Oh, so that's what we're getting Bertha to go home so early.
Mm-hmm.
Also, really quick, while we are loading in, I would say, for those of you who want to follow our characters on D&D Beyond, and by our characters I mean these wonderful individuals at the table in front of me, we do use the D&D Beyond Twitch overlay, so you can click on any of the characters' profiles, which we will update as of course, should I decide to reach out to somebody for artwork or otherwise, they will update with us. Check out the items that the characters are traveling with. And then the second bit would be, of course, to check out their HP as it drops or goes back up,
Plummets,
depending upon how everything goes.
Plummet.
AC at 12.
I don't know why. We have a cleric.
We'll be fine.
Definitely makes sense. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and dive back into what happened last time. Last time, a brand new band of adventurers met at the Slippery Griffin in the quiet town of Calder. Whether by happenstance or destiny, fate or luck, this group of strangers found themselves traveling together in support of the more vocal needs of one of their number. Their fates, once separate, now twist together. Harlan departing his longtime home of Port Thorstead, and all he knew to aid Babarith the Loxodon as he seeks the way back to his home in the Feywild. Kylandi and Carter, now knowing the strength of traveling in numbers after a wayside encounter on their trek northward after disquieting discoveries spurred their journey forward. They found their lot cast among a sleepy town at the dawn of candle night, the verdant equinox, and welcoming of spring. Working on naught but a rumor, though from a very reliable source, of a lush temple to the north of Calder, at the flat-top ruin of Jaro's Peak, the band of wary adventurers made their way to the lone mountain standing dwarfed by the distant Tormund Mountain range. On the horizon. Making their way up the well-worn path, our group eventually experienced a dramatic shift in scenery, environment, and climate, quickly changing from dry grassland and mountainous clay to lush forest nearly 3/4 of the way up the mountainside. Once there, they happened on an expansive ruin at the center of a large forest clearing, flanked by dense and thick oak trees and a singular small cave. After thoroughly investigating the area and finding nothing, the group decided to camp for the evening at the insistence of Babar to not leave the locale. When midnight struck, the group noticed a palpable transfer of energy as glittering gray silver arches and columns sprung into existence where once none existed, though their visage was incomplete. Sensing they were making headway, the party stayed at the site and camped for not one, but 3 nights before the eve of the Festival of Candlenight, where they were greeted by a complete scene. There they translated instructions and an oath. Once spoken by each of their number, a humanoid entity appeared from beneath the center arch carrying a token from each member of the group. Individually, he revealed his purpose to them, the purpose of the Vertari. Before divulging, there was a mote of corruption, leading to his inability to maintain his full form for much longer. As his image flickered beneath the harvest moon, the pounding of great weight and roars signaled the approach of 2 massive bears, eyes aglow with an orange energy and black tar-like saliva dripping from their snarling jaws. So, I would like to ask everyone here to please roll for initiative as we roll out our battle cam.
Ooh, get the bad
I
ones
did
out.
the same thing.
All right.
What a great start.
Oh,
boy, that's good.
All right.
Yep.
Nice.
So I feel like we're starting off strong.
Very.
So strong.
Very.
All the strength.
He's bear is fine.
He's bear. He's fine.
He's very fine.
We were
Very
we
fine.
were very clear that we were on it, though. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
we're at least ready.
They are just bears. Is fine.
Is fine. Okay,
Listen,
so
I'm not a fighter.
I
a
am
fighter.
aware.
I'm not a fighter.
I'm not a fighter. All right, so as these
I'm
great
just
snarling
really fucking
entities, the
smart.
black tar-like saliva dripping from their mouth, which is oddly disquieting to a number of you who understand what bears generally look like. It's time for initiative rolls. 20 to 15. We're starting off strong. 15 to 10.
13?
14.
Okay,
All right, all right, all right.
14.
Gotta channel my inner McConaughey.
Carter at 13, you said?
All right.
Over there.
Okay. 10 to 5?
5.
Oh. Jesus Christ, Babar.
Is 3.
Harlan. I wrote Harlan with an H, by the way. H-A-H-L-A-N.
Mm-hmm. That is accurate.
That's not his name.
That's
Is how you introduce
All right.
yourself.
Okay, so as you turn around, you hear growls of these massive bears, snarling entities coming towards you, discolored and dismaying in their forms. Top of the round, Kylandy, what would you like to do?
Your big earphones got in the way. You didn't
Kylandy's
hear
gonna run for it a little bit.
All right, he's going
smell
to turn,
us
see these
here.
charging
Not
entities.
paying
Run
a bit of
forward.
attention to what's going on around us.
There. And Kylandy's gonna cast a guiding bolt.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack, please.
18 plus
Jesus.
6.
For 24?
Yeah.
That hits.
You're playing a bard, right?
Little did you know I am not a fighter.
14.
14 points of damage. Okay, as you charge forward and you release the hand as a massive amount of very bright, white, radiant energy that is tinged with the soft sea blue coalesces around Kylandy's hand, and he releases the energy as it streaks forward, slamming into the chest of this growling entity. It is totally locked on you at this point.
And that's gonna end my turn.
You got it. Carter, you're up.
Oh boy. Well, I'm not a fighter, so I'm gonna run. Oh jeez. Probably about 30 feet this way. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna kind of stay right here. As a bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and cast my invisible mage hand.
All right.
Kind of put it out in front of me. Actually, I'll put my invisible mage hand.
You want to use a D4 for where it's placed?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Gotcha.
Can do it within 30 feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right there.
All right.
And I will, I will hold my action.
Hold your action.
Can I do that? I have to.
What action would you like to? You need to declare what action you are holding.
I'm gonna hold Mind Sliver.
All right, that works for me. So you will use the. Let me know.
Oh wait,
So what are you looking
I'm
for
sorry.
to trigger the action?
Mage Hand is an action.
Mage hand is the action. so
Mage
you can
Hand's an
actually
action. So, can I hold a bonus action?
Unfortunately, you
No,
can
so it's only action. All right, so that's my turn.
All right, you got it. As you kind of sprint around the corner and mutter to yourself. Actually, do you require
Nope.
components? Nope.
No
As
components.
As with a thought, you understand the location of this invisible hand. Okay, that'll be your turn. Next up are the bears. The first is going to.
What bears?
We see the bears.
This is the one you
There
casted
are
at, correct?
bears
Here?
here. They're going.
Kylandy?
Yeah, the first one there.
I just saw Kylandy took off. Oh.
The one that you struck, Kylandy, is going to charge towards you and make its 2 attacks. One with its bite, one with its claw. The first one is going to be a bite. That is a, oh god, math. That is a 16 to hit.
Misses.
Misses. Okay, the bite. Jaws, you're able to dodge out of the way, kind of catching the edge of the hat. The next is a 18 to hit.
That does hit.
All right, the claw sweeps around and slams into your side, dealing 6 points of slashing damage as the bear.
Wrath of the Storm.
You got it.
I need a deck save.
That is cocked. That is a
You're looking for a 14.
13. Fails.
Sweet. That's sad.
So it's good.
3 thunder damage.
As it strikes into you, you call upon the power of Cord, and although it's really loud to you, the rest of you kind of hear this little like gravel moving in the vicinity. You said 3 points of thunder damage?
Yeah, 3 points of thunder
Got
damage.
it. As the entity just looking down at you, it's very pissed. The second bear
should be.
uses its full action and then dashes, trying to get closer to what it sees as a centralized group of individuals. Spurred on by just, you guys aren't sure, but as it approaches, the disgusting scent of this entity as it approaches is just decay, far stranger than anything you would have seen before. Next up is going to be Harlan.
Behind you. And then I'm going to turn around. Use my movements.
And get out of dodge.
I appreciate
I'm
the
going
heads
to
up.
hold my action
All right.
until Babar or the bear closes with one another. And once they are in range of each other, I'm going to use my attack.
All right, so that will trigger your attack.
Yep.
Perfect. Makes sense to me. That is you're holding your action. Babar, you're up.
I will turn around.
You turn around and see this bear charging towards you. The sound and sights of everything now making sense and coalescing together.
And then staying 10 feet away, I will swing my glaive.
You got it.
And hopefully it goes better.
Go ahead and roll to attack, please.
How about an 11?
That just hits.
Whew. Okay.
All right.
Swinging for the fences.
Nice. 11 points.
11 points of damage. Nice. As you strike into the entity, as you cut through the middle of its matted, decaying fur, you see spilling out this deeply red crimson fluid. And it's moving much slower than you would imagine bludgeon normally runs. It's almost like molasses as it pours from the wounds.
Is now in front of me. And that's my turn.
At the end of his turn, would you like to go ahead and use the held action? or
That
no?
is not what I held my action for.
You got it. Just giving you the option to if you'd like
Yep.
They're
to.
in range, though.
Nope, bear is not in range of him when they are in range of each other.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the end of the held action, you have the option to use it or not, right? Just depends. So, top of the round, Kylandy, you're up again.
Going to have to teach you how to work with me better.
Wisdom save. Toll the dead.
Toll the dead.
That's
You
what I
all
use
just-
my action for.
On the one in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That is a... Oh! 15.
Makes it.
14 plus 1. Neat. So it will... I believe there is no effect if the save is successful. Boom, boom. Nailed it.
Go work. All right.
Yep, that's it. So you hear this boom, and as the sound of the bell tolls in the distance, filling the vicinity, you all hear it strike, and it's a very odd, echoing, resonant sound, but the bear just shakes off. It seems to be unaffected by the magics in the vicinity.
Is he within melee view?
Yeah, he sure
Okay,
is.
good
Carter,
enough.
you're up.
All right. I'm gonna use my action to move the hand.
Alrighty, gonna move closer.
I'm gonna move it 5 foot closer to Kylandy.
Slap the bear.
Slap the shit out of him, Ted.
And as my bonus action, I'm gonna use it to shove the bear out of his melee range.
So that is contested athletic checks.
He needs to make a proficiency. He needs to make a. Excuse me. It's here somewhere. He needs to make a strength saving throw because of my feet.
You got it.
That
is an 18 plus 3.
Well, he makes it.
Yep. So,
That's a bear.
Kylandy, as you see the bears snarling in front of you, there's this strange matting of pressed down fur in front of you, and then it disappears.
Well, shit. That didn't work out.
I'm rolling really poorly or really well. There's
Yeah,
no in
sure
between.
did. All right, so.
I've rolled a 1 all night so far, so.
No.
That's,
No.
I'll just kind of take a step into this behind this arch right here.
All right.
I can't really get it, but I'm in the middle of the arch, just
Makes
kind of
sense.
using it as a little bit of cover.
You got it.
That's my turn.
All right, that is your turn. Next up is the bear's turn. The bear closest to you, Kylandy, is going to make its 2 attacks at you one more time. Not going to use that dice anymore. Ah-ha-ha! Not good. 15?
Misses.
Okay, so the bite, once again, you're able to dodge out of the way. Its massive claw spins around, and that's a 7.
That also misses.
So once again, whoosh, the claw over your head. Yikes, guys. Next, the... Okay.
They will come closer.
Boom. Comes close. So since... Yep, okay.
Yes, but I don't get my action from last round now.
No.
So.
Yeah, you kind of wasted that one.
It's away. Oh well.
Yep.
2 attacks on you, Babar. The first is a 17.
That'll hit.
Huzzah! He exclaimed with great relish. Dealing
I'll have relish on some things.
5 points of piercing damage as the claw, as the jaws slam down onto your shoulder. I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, Constitution save.
That is what it
I'm
is.
good at those. That would be a natural 20 for 26.
You feel this strange creeping energy try to seep into your body, and then you shake it off. I need a wisdom save.
I was afraid that was going to come up. That would be another natural
What?
20 for 21.
You're able to, you feel this strange
What?
Didn't need that
pulsing
one.
rage
Damn.
as your eyes barely almost cover over it with this strange red film, and you are able to shake it off quickly as the claws with the 19 to hit swipe down at you
And
Man, you're just getting
for 6 points of slashing damage,
destroyed.
scraping across the front of your tunic, tearing through a bit of the fabric. Just the bear standing in front of you.
you said 6 points?
6 points of slashing damage. I did indeed.
Scratched.
All right, next up is going to be, that is their turn. Next up is going to be Harlan.
Okay, I don't get advantage unless I'm actually flanking, which is directly across from
That is correct.
him, right?
But because it is within melee range, you will get sneak attack if you do hit the attack.
Yeah, that I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm looking at advantage rolls.
Oh, understood. No, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm gonna move. 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes left.
That should do.
I'm gonna hit him with the dagger.
Hit him with a dagger.
16 to 22.
That'll hit. Roll for damage. Add your sneak attack bonus. As you sprint behind the bear, drawing your dagger and stabbing into the back.
11 points of damage.
Nice. As you stab, cutting into the back and begin to drag down, you see this. Bear's looking pretty rough.
Gonna use my bonus action to disengage.
All right, you disengage, moving quickly away from the bear's form.
And then move 10 feet.
You got it. Alrighty. Next up, it's you, Bavar.
Oh, I gotta. I can't really do much but attack, so I'm gonna attack.
You got it. He is now closed within range, and you just kind of see and sense him, but he's looking pretty ragged.
That would be a 15.
A 15 does hit. Roll for damage for me, please.
Another 11 points.
Another 11 points. You take the glaive and this time stab and cut through, almost slicing it in twain as it's held together by barely a decomposing spine as it falls to the ground dead.
All right, nice. You did it.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn? You have your movement and bonus left.
For my
I
movement.
just stand there with my hand up.
Oh.
Just look at you.
You can bonus action high five if you like.
Well, I think they're too.
So I still have my
too far.
movement?
He still does have movement.
I'm gonna just step on the bear.
All right, and move over.
25, 30. And that's it.
That's it. Alrighty. Top of the round. Kylander, you're up.
Don't think it's your girlfriend. Missing somebody else. There.
there.
I am not.
Toll the Dead.
All right, once more.
Sure
Wisdom
she
saving throw.
misses
Yes.
Yep.
That I believe is a failure. That is a 9.
Yes, that does fail.
All right, roll for damage.
It is 3 points. Wait, actually, is there any damage to?
There is no damage bonus.
No.
To total dead. Oh, there is damage on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll a d12 instead of a d10.
Yeah.
Roll that d12.
10 points.
10 points. All right. How do you kill it?
Just let the nice ring of the bell.
You all hear this that echoes in the vicinity as the bear, as the note begins to resonate. You hear the growling match the tone as the body begins to decay and succumb to whatever sort of corruption had seeped into its form, and it lands on the ground dead.
I was going to ask if you needed help.
Well,
Care of it.
it's pretty apparent you guys are highly competent out there. Sorry I couldn't help.
We knew you would be of no help.
We talked about that last night.
I'm gonna bring the hand closer to me.
Okay.
Out of the way, so that I bump into it, kind of, and I'll kind of walk back out here and just kind of keep the hand by me.
You got it.
I'm just gonna pick this up for the sake of picking that up.
Yeah.
As far as the bears go, anything I recognize as to why they are the way they are, all necrotic and such.
Give me a medicine check.
Could I go look at the dead one?
Yeah,
Check
absolutely.
it out.
Why
And
do
I just want to thoroughly search it.
Investigation check, very please.
9.
9. It looks decayed. It looks significantly old, beyond its time, and barely held together through twisting sinew and like very thin muscle fibers. That's about all you're able to pick up. Not necessarily sure as a source with that roll, but you are aware it is decayed.
I would actually like to investigate the pillars, not the bears.
You got it.
I got a 15 on this bear in front of me.
It is decaying. It is held together by barely any
Bear.
muscle or sinew. There's barely any left.
Could I tell the type of decay maybe?
That would be a medicine check, a separate medicine check.
All right.
You would like to investigate the pillars?
Mhm.
Please give me an investigation check because they're still up and. I mean, are you just kind of looking around and taking back in the scene?
No, I'm looking to see if anything has changed. The last thing I thought they said was protect the space between.
Got it.
So
I rolled a 14 on the medicine check.
14.
Yeah.
I'm moving to a different side of the table next week.
Is it
7.
7? I will get to that in just a moment. 15. Looking at
14.
It, 14. You're not necessarily the most medically inclined individual, but you're able to tell that there is some sort of creeping disease, although the source you are not able to necessarily understand.
It's worth a shot.
You did, and you dealt a lot of damage to it.
My mojo's better over there.
Okay, so Harlan, as the battlefield fades to silence,
I got a 7. Come on.
no worries. As you're not able to see anything different other than the flickering form of the entity that once was there. It doesn't seem to have changed, but you're not able to necessarily tell any difference. For the rest of you, as the battlefield does fade to silence, and the panting of your labored breath, really the only sound reaching your ears, for those of you who are close and into the fray, heart kind of pounding in your chest, you all turn and look once more at the flickering form of the entity, and while the face barely registers emotion that you are able to tell at this point, you sense pride emanating from him. They lift their head and speak. Balance. It seems as if every word is difficult for him to maintain connection. This is what the Vatari seek. True neutrality. Seeking out corruption in all forms. I do not have the power to bring you to the realm my spirit protects. But I do sense someone there in great need. And his eyes locks on you, Babar. And he turns, looking at the empty archway. Perhaps this will be enough. Perhaps we can bring us there some small way. And as he turns, you see him begin to place his weapons that he carries on the ground. The glaive that he was carrying, clattering to the lands and shaking as if it has solid form, but no sound being made. No of the solid thuds as these weapons, the staff, the cane, the daggers, and the mace, all the warhammer, all hitting the ground. And you see him begin to remove bits and pieces of the armor, revealing a very lithe, though hard to distinguish form that is flickering and pulsing with energy that is barely maintained. turns and looks at you once more, a face now difficult to tell any gender or race as it seems to flow through all of them in time. This is all that is left of my essence. It is weak.
Perhaps one of you will take up the mantle. Our mantle. Perhaps not. I'm sure it is still far too early to decide, and that is fine. But for the sake of balance, what I ask is necessary. Would you aid the one seeking freedom? She is but a child.
I will walk over and at least pick up the glaive if I can, like over by.
As you bend to pick it up, your hand passes through it. It is without form.
How do we help?
What? Why? What?
How do we go?
Some ghost-like entity comes to you and says, help me fix this. There's a child, and you're just gonna jump to it. Why?
Because they are in need.
So are you.
I am.
So am I.
You are. So are they.
Where's this child at?
The entity looks out between all of you.
This is another small one that disappeared from the town. The town below got trapped between places. Unable to return. Stranded. I think you might be able to help.
I mean that town that we didn't go to because we were sitting here camping? That town?
That's the one.
It was a nice town.
We should help if we can.
We should find you a way home if we can.
That is why we are helping.
So if we help find this child and bring them back home,
How does that further your getting
it gets
home?
you home?
It returns power to Vertari. Vertari might help.
So are these people that are very powerful in the Feywild that we just don't know about here? Is that why you're willing to make a deal?
They have asked for help. We should help. If you do not want to help, that is fine.
I want to get you home. I don't want to get sidetracked on stuff we have no verification of. This is the first we're hearing of missing children, and it's from a ghost.
I'm kind of with Harlan here. Like, what's in it for us?
There was no mention of anything other than decorating for a festival when we were in that town. No children missing, no anything. Why should we believe this man?
Excuse me, Vitari. When did this child go missing?
The entity as it is kind of flickering, and at this point you see it bent over a bit, kind of leaning. You see it is significantly weakened at this point in time. Looks between each of you.
Best to my recollection, this was months ago. In your time, in mine, is the best I can make out.
And
Mine's
is
different.
this a child from this plane? Is it a child from your plane?
This is not the first time. Someone, a person, something, an animal has crossed over.
Just like I did.
I would say
You're
at
also
this
listening
point,
to a ghost that's telling you that something got trapped when it got crossed over, trying to convince you to cross over.
Carter and Kylandi, give me a intelligence check.
17.
17, thank you.
23.
23. Both of you recollect, actually, your time spent in... Let me find this. Your time spent in the Righteous Hold, which is the temple to Telenus, that when you all first arrived at Calder. Finding a journal of Kivdir Rothmol, who was one of the old temple leaders of the Temple of Telenus. As Braudmore Ambermead, who is the current leader of the temple. As you searched through the books, you were able to find this journal, and in the journal it did speak of individuals in the past who had disappeared and then reappeared seemingly several months later with no recollection or memory as to where they were or why they, or what had occurred, only that several months had passed between the travel. As they emerged, they all seemed tired, weak, and all of whom were suffering from some form of memory loss.
Resolution said, "Come here to get home." We came here, and now
You are being talked to by a ghost who's trying to trap you somewhere, just like he has other people. That's another take on this.
When Kylandy and I got here, we stopped by the temple down in Calder, and there was a journal from the old leader of the temple, and it spoke of how people tend to go missing from this area quite frequently.
They would come back months later.
They'd come back and wouldn't have any recollection. They'd be tired. They'd be...
Time means nothing in Feywild.
Time means nothing in a lot of places, that's for certain. I mean, this is fascinating, and I'd love to learn more about it. So,
Halan, you help people. Why do we not help now?
I just gave you the reason. You think this is one thing, this could very well be another.
can I insight check the
Sure.
the thing? The
What are you looking for specifically?
Batari? Is he his level of concern for the missing person?
Yeah, sure. Give me an insight check.
9.
9. From what you've been able to tell, this has been super above board thus far.
Okay.
In terms of level of concern, it's difficult to make out. The fact that it's been brought up to this by this entity, when it's brought up other things that have larger scale implications, it confuses you why it would bring this up.
Yeah.
It also talks about potentially world shifting implications.
Could I recall the level of concern that the priest from the temple had with missing persons, or the level of concern that was written in the journal? Would I be able to see through the lines there?
With the intelligence check with that 23, yeah.
Yeah.
You would find that the individual, so Kyavdir,
Can you spell that for me?
Kyvadir.
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 Okay, thank you.
Kyavdir. You recall in the journal itself, and they were handwritten notes, showed great concern for all of the individuals who had disappeared, of which there were 3, and that these occurrences were actually what spurred this individual to actually research this location, which is how you were able to, although there was not a great roll last session, right, but refers to how you are working. For you, Kyland, you're kind of hitting yourself and then going, yeah, I read this. Yep,
I did read that.
100% read it. Shit, I forgot. There was great concern, as only 2 returned.
Okay. And when they returned, they just...
The individuals taken in the books were all adults.
Okay.
They were all, it was 1 man and 1 woman. The entity that did not return was a farmer. Was one of the halfling farmers in the vicinity. You wouldn't know if there's any recorded notion of him coming back outside of the journal itself, right? But within the logs of this individual, there is no known recollection of a return. But as this was the temple, and it was his temple, you can gather through the text that he had a lot of feelings of ownership in the safety of the members of the town.
Ratari, can you, with the missing persons in the past, what's come of that? What implications, what consequences have come of those folks missing?
He looks at you and thinks for a moment.
It was long ago. I do not recall everyone who stepped through these ways, and I've grown far weaker in time.
Did it upset the balance?
I recall one not being able to return. Yes.
I mean, I'm bloody fascinated, and
You're gonna be able to protect yourself?
I sure hope so.
By your own admission, you were no help, not a fighter.
It is true.
I'm not, but I'm smart.
So you're gonna follow that ghost. That makes a lot of sense.
I didn't say I was going to follow the ghost. I said I was interested.
He hasn't told you he can get you home. He's only asked for you to go to the other side, where the people are trapped.
And that is best chance I have right now to go home.
He hasn't mentioned you getting home.
How do we get there?
To where? They are different places.
He has only mentioned luring you to
Yeah.
wherever he's got this child.
Why are they trapped?
They stepped through the veil.
I stepped through veil.
You did, and I wish that I could bring you there fully. The transition is not yet complete to become part of the Fae, Babar. If you wish to go home, I would direct you to the Brightwood. It is the only known area where the transition happens more often than not. I'm sorry that I could not take you there now. It is beyond my strength.
How do we get to this Brightwood?
You would actually know of the Brightwood's location. It is far to the north of where you grew up, actually, beneath the Indalari Valley, like through the Indalari Valley northward. The Indalari Valley, which was the first, the lush plains, typically where most of the wheat is actually farmed. To the north of that, it is a known entity. It is a forest. It is. Give me actually an intelligence check.
Ooh, 8.
8. You know it. You're aware of it. You know its geographical locale.
Was told to stay out.
In terms, no, nobody
Okay.
has ever had any negative implications toward the Brightwood. You just have never traveled there yourself.
Is it just like it's a forest? It's a woods?
You've heard of settlements there. There have certainly been trade. There's been trade conducted,
Okay.
but you're not necessarily aware of these settlements there.
If we eliminate the blight, can you get the lost one?
I can only come through in this form, Babar. And only for the next hour can I maintain it. The equinox is ending.
So does that mean whatever mission you're offering him is timed? He has 1 hour?
I will maintain my hold as long as I can, even if it costs me my life.
No, I mean once you get him across to find whoever that is that you're looking for. He has 1 hour to complete that before he has
We
to
have
come back?
1 hour
It would
here.
not be a full transition. I can only bring part of it here, to this location. When the time ends, you will be back here, or when you have completed the task.
I'd like to insight check that statement.
Absolutely, please do. Just to see if he's telling the truth or not.
I want to know if when the time ends we end up back here in this plane where we started. 13.
13. Everything has seemed above board that he said thus far. He is speaking to what seems to be the best of his knowledge, and it's pretty extensive at this point, to his control over this location.
Time is of essence.
How? Time has no meaning in the Feywild. Explain how those two go together.
I wish I could.
So time is not of the essence.
If they are trapped in between,
You have said numerous times to me time has no meaning there.
but time has meaning here.
They're not here. We have all the time we need.
or no time at all.
How would we get there? Where do you send us? To the Brightwood?
He would bring
I would
it
bring
here.
the modicum of the plane I am tasked. My spirit is tasked with guarding. I would bring it here and attempt to maintain the connection for as long as possible.
Physically here in this spot.
Yes.
And you need us to do what when it's here?
Find the child. She is not far. She is not strayed from where she was first lost.
She's been.
But we're not going anywhere?
How can we be sure we can even bring her back?
You're not being clear at all. You're telling us you're bringing it here, and then you're telling us to go after it.
He would bring the plane here just because it is different plane. The person on the plane can go. It is the same, but different.
Babar is correct. The Feywild is but a layer over which the world we are in now. All I would do is open the veil here. Place it over top of this current location. The child, and he looks to the right towards the cave, has taken up residence, the only place it feels safe. I have not been able to bring her.
Is there something that hunts her?
Yes.
What is hunting her?
It is... Okay. It is a weakened form of that which possessed those two spirits behind you. Long
Disease.
as it sought the corruption. The moat that was taken and thrown only held power because of time. Time spent here.
It's going to be a lot easier to convince us if you just tell us everything you know right off, as opposed to letting us ask the proper question.
This is all I know. It has been guarding her for some time. I have not been able to take it from her.
That's my 19 insight check on that's all he knows about this.
So you're looking to see if he's lying?
I'm looking to see if that's all he knows.
Okay. You got it.
Whisper.
No, I'm sorry. 20, but not natural.
20 not natural, but it's fine.
I have no idea what to do, guys. I'm at a total loss.
We should probably just go.
Back to
I
town.
don't see why not.
I mean, I'm totally down to hunt something, but I'm also totally down to leave.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm-
actually, that's not all. But that
I'm
roll-
fascinated, so
It is best chance I have.
I'm
to go
I'm
home.
intrigued.
I'm totally indifferent. Although, if there's a beast to be hunted,
Is
I might
Feywild
want in that.
beast.
I mean, these bears here are full of corruption. He's talking about a corrupt entity, so
What do you gain out of this?
I can sleep peacefully.
Do I catch a meaning to sleep that I...
It tracks. It tracks with what you've, with that insight. With the insight carrying over, it confirms your suspicion.
Did you cause this?
No, I was tasked with protecting it.
And eliminating whatever it is that is disturbing this particular area will clear it. Put it back to normal, how it's supposed to be.
Restore balance.
And it stays that way without you there.
Until someone else takes up the mantle, it is vulnerable. This is my spirit guarding this place. My physical form is long gone. When
This
I was
is the-
young, I roamed the world much like you. It is one of many places, but this is the place I chose to rest.
This is the last thing you do as this spirit form, and it's come to beg us to help you.
You were here. So yes,
And when you're gone, you know that this place is vulnerable.
it is the last act I have. It is what is in front of me. It is all I can control.
He is desperate, Halan. So was I.
Thank you for clearing that up, Babar. I wasn't quite sure what was going on here.
So this is your oath, protecting this place.
This is his last act, asking us to protect this place for him.
None of you have to take the mantle. I would not ask something so monolithic. I'm simply telling you so you might understand. It is not just the Feywild that has a Vatari.
Good allies to have.
The Feywild is the last with the Vatari.
Fuck it.
I will not take you if all of you are unwilling to go.
What is fuck it?
It's a figure of speech. It means I'm in. Might as well, right?
Fuck it.
Yes. Fuck it.
That's the way.
Halan, you do not have to come.
If there's
I'm definitely not fucking it.
Is figure of speech.
Wait a minute. Time out. Out of game. Is Babar instructing Harlan about figures of speech on the prime material plane?
That's where we've arrived at, yes.
Just wanted to clarify. Back to game.
I just repeat, I don't understand what it means.
I don't think we can put that on a shirt.
You know what? Don't tempt me with a good time.
Is figure of speech.
Fuck
Figure of speech.
Is figure of speech.
Would be a nicer last act than the one he's doing, but
I understand your trepidation, but I promise I have not lied. I simply tell you all I know at the moment I know it.
If we only have 1 hour, should we not get to it?
She is not far, it should not take long.
I believe
I will
we
attempt
had
to
all
hide
the time
your
in the
presence.
world.
Over there, yes.
I'm confused on time.
I will attempt to hide your presence. It is called
Good luck.
Kuratok. If Kuratok emerges, I will attempt to distract him.
I thought we needed to get rid of that.
If you do not wish to, I would not ask you to endanger yourselves any more than you already have.
I am not feeling so great, but would like to fight more.
If there's a beast to be hunted, I shall hunt.
If you like,
I don't understand why you who are charged with maintaining balance wants an entity eliminated.
the entity disrupts it. It was once balanced. Kuratok was once an ally. Corruption sought its form. And over time, grew the seed madness. Until it was unable to continue and was no longer my dear friend.
There is no way to bring him back.
So, just because somebody's not your friend anymore, it deserves to die.
The corruption on the land is the reason for the elimination. But if you do not feel comfortable doing so, I would not charge you with it.
I feel comfortable.
Have I noticed corruption on the land around here?
So I will say, in all of the time you have spent investigating, I'm not going to make you roll for it because you specifically have spent, all of you have spent so much time looking around. What you have noticed is in the vicinity, it seems to be on the surface, right, a glade, a forest glade. But only at a certain point of the mountain did that begin, right? Only at 3/4 up the mountain did this actually maintain, as this at the epicenter. Whereas,
Which is the opposite of decayed, I think. It's verdant where it shouldn't be.
so the location up the mountain
Uh-huh.
looked to be dry, brittle, almost dust bowl, less grassland that you were used to.
Okay.
And it was a very clean, harsh transition.
Like it's extended out from this glade, and that's where it extended to.
Yes. And the location moving up was
Not this.
it was essentially almost as if it had been sucked dry.
You're from there. How do we know he's not the one causing the corruption and the other guy's the one maintaining this?
Because if he was one causing corruption, we would not still be here.
All I've heard about beings from the Feywild is that they are tricky.
Have I been tricky?
Very.
Very.
I wouldn't say you've been tricky. You've been set in your ways.
I didn't even know how to give you a potion.
By the way, it works through mouth, too.
Nope. Nope, that's it. Well, we found it.
Broken DM. So it sounds like we're in accord here. Why don't we just go, find this child, come back?
Fight creature.
That too.
We have no evidence of which creature is actually the one causing the harm, and we have no evidence that the creature enticing us to go get the child is not trying to trap us either. So we are not all in accord.
So you don't go.
As you say this, Harlan, it looks at you and it says,
I would love to provide you with any sort of modicum of the trust, but I promise you I have not been lying.
One person prior to you in this area mentioning kidnapping would have done wonders.
I understand.
What about your friend that is missing?
She went missing years ago on her own will, for all I know.
But is lead?
I don't see a connection to her and this at all.
I have no control over what the town people deem important.
His chance for me to return home, even if temporarily. That is what I have asked for.
That's what you're gonna call in? Going home temporarily.
I have only asked to go home. I never specified time. If that is best chance I have,
Then in that case, we've helped you because he's going to take you.
then you can go. If that is your concern.
Full disclosure, I've kind of always wanted to go to the Feywild, so...
We do not have to fight, but we should help.
I don't want to end up one of the missing.
Then don't go. I cannot give you guarantee. I cannot make any promises.
You
Much
usually
as
hear
he
about
can.
kidnappings a little bit more than from the guy at the scene.
Well, we did read it in a book.
And you're just now mentioning it.
Well, we did say it a Holiday Inn.
I did say it.
It didn't seem relevant at time. Relevant now.
When it sounds like it's the same type of thing that's happened in the past. Let's go, let's do it.
You just need a better reason than jumping at a straw.
I would say, Harlan, he looks at you for a moment and says,
Would you mind if I spoke with you without words?
I don't know how to take that as a player. What do you
You know what he means.
hey there, bud.
The old talking
body
without
language.
words. His
He's
hips
going
don't
to.
lie.
You're about to be given ghostly charades.
We get
You
that
would-
ghost scene?
You ever seen Mind Meld?
Yeah,
on
that's
Star
what I was
Trek?
like, what?
You would gather that in the. So I would say the only instance of this ever having happened before would be your time spent around some of the members who are more magically inclined, and it would be a communication medium utilized on more On missions that you've conducted in the past with a Noiho, where stealth and specifically volume of any sort of chatter is, you cannot have it, so you would bring along a specialized individual who would communicate with you inside the head as opposed to verbally.
Am I aware of what they can pull out of
Yes.
one's head? And
In terms of what you've had in that way, it's always been like a walkie-talkie, or something we also would know here. It has been a call and response.
you can project, but you cannot take anything.
I wouldn't dare.
Did I hear him say that out loud? Ask that question out loud?
Make a perception check. It was very, very quiet and very much to only one person.
14.
14. You heard him whisper. You don't know what it was the context of the whisper. So was that an agreement?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't invade in any way, shape, or form and just projects.
All right. You sense a very light touch, very similar to something that you felt in the past, and there is no other projection on the mind. And I'm going to ask everybody to step out for just a moment.
Oh shit, I got the first one of these.
Get out.
Shit.
Get out.
Ooh, sorry.
All of your candy will be gone, guys.
Sorry.
That's cool. Sorry.
Sorry.
And you all are going to hear my dogs bark. All right. So as he projects mentally, you hear words echo inside your mind.
I'm sorry I could not provide more of what you wanted. When we connected first, I attempted to show you your reflection, but I was unable to call it forward. I have seen your kind before, if I am assuming, but it is an assumption and a vain one at that, and a sign of desperation. You can deny it, and I will believe you. But I believe that there is the potential for you to find a home, or something close to it, with your kin. I promise I have not lied.
Shit. This is mind to mind, right?
Mind to mind.
Crap, so I'm...
I will say, in this connection, it feels as if the channel has been left open.
I'm gonna shoot it back in his head. I'm not gonna speak it out loud. You're gonna need to give me all the rest of the information you know about that topic before I agree.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to play that out here. You can
No
dump me
worries.
that later.
So
but
it is actually important for me to give you a couple of keystrokes, and then I will give the rest of you
Okay.
that to you on the side.
The Traveler, a long time ago, was a member of the court. Independent from the rest. I do not know how it has evolved since my passing. It has been centuries. Perhaps your friend would know more.
a member of what court?
There are 3 within the Fae. We have, to my recollection, the Seelie and Unseelie as the 2 primary, and then others known as the Independent or Verdant.
So he was independent. Okay.
From what I know, and I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you more, there was a fracture that caused him to leave, the events of which I am not privy to.
Are you telling me the fairy tale I've heard is true? He created 100.
I am not aware of the fairy tale that you have heard, but I am aware of an entity known as the Traveler who, when we attempted to show a reflection, had the same response. If you are looking for confirmation that an entity exists by that name, I can tell you for a fact that it does. I can tell you for a fact where he once resided. His actions since leaving I do not know.
You mentioned others like me, though.
We have heard rumors amongst the other Vitari while we still lived, venturing in and out of our own domain. In fact, though it is quite old, I have a memory of one of us being very similar. He passed before my time.
And you're saying there are others like me in Feywild? What do you...
I can only make an assumption, Harlan.
Okay. Is that... What else? Sorry.
No worries. So since you asked for a full download, he's being very transparent with the information.
What I can tell you is, in my time, in my role, I have come across more who I'm not able to show a reflection. There was a woman long ago. And before that, the second, I was unable to place because the masks changed so often. Those are the only two of my personal memory until you.
So there was a woman a while ago, a second, and then me. Got it.
I wish I could tell you time, Harlan. It grows more difficult for me to remember.
All right. Now, you said there were a couple of things that I needed to know and the rest we could download later. Was that all of them?
Those are the big points.
Okay, we can...
You got it.
I'm cool.
All right. So we're going to invite everybody else back in. Everybody else, back on in. Thank you so much.
It smells like
I'm
a
dead.
library in here.
Does it smell like a small
A small library.
A small library.
It does smell like a small library.
I'm totally dead.
crafty gamer.
Well, that's what you get.
Yep.
Smoky.
Also, secrets don't make friends.
But guess what? Throw in the campaign. Just wait until your whispers come to call.
TPK?
What?
We all dead?
Secrets don't make friends. I'm just pointing at him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll set the scene and then we will go on our quick break so we can be aware of time, okay? So, you all, Carter, you're the only one who heard the whisper. There is a very brief interaction for about, you all notice the silent and the entity just standing hunched over while you all are kind of in your own collective thoughts, mulling things over for about the next 10 to 15 seconds.
So I heard him whisper, and then I see he stops talking.
You heard a whisper, almost like I would equate it to a low mutter of somebody just mumbling under
Okay.
their breath.
And then nothing? For how long?
It was about 10 seconds.
Is he looking at Harlan?
Oh, yeah,
give
this
me a
tastes great with beer.
So actually, with your passive
Right?
perception, no,
Wow.
I need a perception check because I have your passive perception right in front of me.
Perception, that's 8. I just
Oh,
would
even
I
better.
if I heard him whisper and then saw nothing, would I know what he's doing?
So that'd be an intelligence check, but it's going to be dependent upon the perception.
Yeah. So my perception was 8.
Got it. So give me an intelligence check, and the DC is relative to that perception check.
Intelligence.
Yep.
That's a 12.
A 12. You are unable to place where he's looking. It seems as if in this entire interaction while he's been speaking with you, he's not making eye contact.
Okay.
He has been
That's fine.
very much hunched over. You're unable to really surmise anything other than that.
That's
He
fair.
just mutters to himself. For all you know, it could be him muttering in pain. After a moment more of silence, you hear him say out loud,
It is as you say, Harlan. If I bring it here, this will very well be my last act, and I am happy that I was able to meet someone from home.
and he looks at you, Babar.
I am ready. Let us help you.
I welcome the help. Would you all like to go? I will maintain control for as long as I can, and I will try to protect you from Kurotok. If he breaks through my protection, I am sorry.
Corotuk?
Are we trying to kill Kurotak, or what are we doing?
We do not have to fight. We will retrieve.
If you do not wish to fight, you do not have to fight.
I am.
think we should fight.
How do you spell Kurotuk?
Kurotok.
Nope.
I did not spell that right.
I am ready to fight if need be, but our primary goal is to retrieve the child. And I speak only for myself to go.
And I will take you if you're ready, Babar. Would anyone else like to join?
I will go.
Sounds fun.
You want this Kurotak ended, correct?
It would end the corruption. At least locally here.
All right, that wasn't what I asked about, though. You want him ended, yes?
Yes.
And you see, as he says it,
Are we
there's-
capable of that?
fought him for a time. He is weakened.
You are an ageless entity of centuries old and experienced. We are just starting out here.
And you see him nod and smile for a moment and say,
Yes. Yes. And I will be at your back.
Harlan.
I'm in, but not for you. I'm in for Kurotok.
Then welcome.
Then we will go.
and you see him grimace in pain. And as he does, you see him take his hand and reach down into the earth, disappearing up to his elbow, and you see it clench, almost as he's grabbing something with a great weight. And you're as he grunts with the force and exertion of moving an entire bit, almost as if he's attempting to lift the weight of the world itself. As he does so, there is a shudder beneath you. As the immediate vicinity around you begins to shift, though not just beneath your feet, you notice that all around you, the world itself shakes and vibrates. Colors shift between vibrant and natural. There is suddenly a bright orange and green hue cast over the trees and grass in the immediate vicinity. A strange pink mask begins to form itself over the sky in this localized area, and you can see the shifts between the pink and the dark purples and blacks of the night sky. You swear, in the distance, as you look into the sky, you see the outline of another celestial body, though faded, much like the moon you see before you, although distant, and on the opposite end of the horizon. And while it is not a pale gray, it in of itself is a deep verdant green. You find yourself still on the top of Jaro's peak, but with a strange discoloration of the vicinity shifting around you, almost as if the world as you know it exists, but with a strange overlay. All colors seem more vibrant, scents seem more intense, with the known sounds and expected sounds of the night sky filling your ears with a cacophony of discordant notes playing over which. And that's where we're going to take a break. And welcome back. We are going to pick up right where we left off. So, welcome back, everybody. We're diving right back into it to be there for time's sake and stuff and things. Let's make sure we transition on the old watcher there. Okay. So. So. You all now find yourself in a very strange, although oddly familiar landscape. Looking around, there is the sound of rushing water, and you see a waterfall falling in the distance at the peak of this mountain, even as it extends further up around you. This glade being nestled within a caldera inside the center of this mountainous landscape. More vibrant foliage extends in the vicinity and catches your eye. The figure collapses to one knee, and now you see him standing at the base of a massive and tattered, aged tree. Branches, once filled and teeming with life, now lacking all leaves.
Kneeling, really.
Mold and fungus dripping and gripping, tearing the life from this once proud structure.
Something seems to be. I have managed the full transition for now.
I will do my best to keep Kurotok away. And as you look, this figure, once ethereal and ghostly, now has taken the form of what is almost a semi-transparent, aged, elven man.
I go to the cave.
So looking, you look to the cave and see emerging, and as you look, you see a small child, almost a toddler. She is wearing a torn, deep purple dress with pink stripes covered with a smattering of mud at the bottom. Her exposed arms from the shoulder down and ankles are covered with scrapes and lacerations, some quite old, others look fresh. While her face is similarly dirty, you notice tear streaks that have been running down her face from a recent cry as she is now seemingly asleep having cried herself into this state so that she might rest finally. Laying at the exterior of the cave, which is just to the edge of the of what would be the waterfall portion of this, moving down with the water spat.
Do I recognize?
I'm going to go over to her and gently wake her up and pick her up.
Okay. As she perception check, by the way, I did not miss that Bevar. As you go into the child and kind of shake her awake, she says,
Hello? Hi? Are you okay? Who are you?
Looks at you a little frightened, seeing somebody else here.
How did you get here? Are you from home?
15.
Where is home, darling? I don't know where you're from.
My home is Calder with my mom and dad, Bernard.
That was the last place I was before I was here.
Can you take me back?
I think so. Why don't you come with us?
Alright. Okay. We gotta go quick.
If
before
you
the big thing
see
comes.
whatever the big thing is,
Yeah.
run and hide, and when we're done with
Okay.
it, come back, okay?
Alright. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And
Come
she
with me.
stands up next to you, and she barely comes up to the top of your, just above the knee height for you. So quite young. You, by your best estimate, maybe 5-6 years old, but very short for the age.
All right, and I'm just walking back, making small talk. So I'm Harlan. Who are you?
My name's Alice. Alice Sharp. I'm part of the Sharp Farmers. We're from outside of Calder.
Great to meet you, Alice.
Good to
I've
meet
got
you
a few
too.
friends, and one of them looks very, very strange. But don't be afraid of him.
Okay.
So you're
name's
you're in the cave with her by yourself.
You now
I'm
see
walking
Harlan,
her back.
Harlan
Okay.
immediately walk over to the cave and shake. You all see the child in the same similar state. Harlan shakes her awake and brings back. What was your perception roll?
15.
15? This vicinity looks unfamiliar to you. You certainly know the effect on the land. That's familiar.
Right,
This
but I don't know
specific
where
location
I'm
is
at
familiar. Yes.
in relation to anything.
Yes.
While Halan is bringing her back, can I just quickly walk the perimeter and see if I see or smell? I would imagine the decay would be very.
So I would say, do you want to smell?
Yes.
So give me a perception check with
Can
advantage.
I also do a perimeter check?
Perception check.
I would
you-
like to do an insight check on the child while I'm talking to her to make sure this is really a child and not the big evil
What
nasty.
kind of check?
Okay. Perception. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
20.
Carter,
Can I go look at the tree?
25.
please do it. Are you investigating the tree or
Yeah.
just kind of looking over?
I'm gonna investigate the tree.
Investigation check, please. Let's do all the rolls in order that they were asked for. First,
22.
Bavar. The scent of it is a sweet scent. It is the scent of home. It is the scent of a lush field of the autumnal vale that you are familiar with, just near the quarry. But laced over top, that sickly sweetness takes it almost too far, and becomes a smell of decay and rot. And even as you are smelling, as you begin to pass the perimeter towards the southernmost section, which would be towards me, right? The southernmost section, it grows stronger. And with that 22, you hear a... What was your roll, kind of?
25.
25. Marking the exterior of the perimeter, your eyes wide, looking in the vicinity. There is dense forest in this location. The mountain itself here seems to extend far larger than Jaro's Peak on the home plane of the prime material plane, as this overlay has existed here. Looking about, you see a number of bushes and shrubs that seem to be shriveled and decayed. The trees that are lush and beautiful on the peak on the prime material plane here, all of which look to be dying. Leaves have turned to brown. There are barely any left on the trees themselves, and as you walk, your feet begin to press into this, though vibrant orange and green grass. Beneath it there is a very strange sinking sensation that just below there seems to be some current of damp liquid, some sort of form. And as you look down, there's the same sort of black ichor seeping up as where you step, as you walk out beyond the immediate influence of the large tree and the arches and pillars that exist here, which, by the way, are in full form and not in ruin. Perfectly replicated for what we're on the prime material plane. Next up would have been Harlan with the insight roll.
I hate this side of the table. 12.
We can switch
It
next
is
week.
a scared child. You gather that this is a frightened child.
Okay.
Who is closest to me?
Right
like,
now,
behind.
Kylandy is approaching you. Carter, you're looking at the tree. What was your investigation check?
19.
19. As you go and begin to like pick through the bark and fungus, the bark sloughs off, almost without touching. Looking down at the roots, you're able to see this tree is hollow and dead and dying. There's very little life save the corruption that which has decayed this tree. What was once, you would imagine, mighty and proud centerpiece to the landscape is at the very edge of its life.
Can I tell if the corruption is of a magical nature?
That would be an Arcana check.
Okay. 11.
11. I would say with that roll, it's difficult to tell because you just, from what you know of the Feywild, most stuff is magic, so you don't know.
Okay.
I'll head up to the top of the rocks there to get a better vantage point, but not before looking at Kylandy. Kurutak approaches. Warn the others. And then...
As you turn back Kylandy, you see the form of the unnamed figure stepping towards you.
Tell the others. I will hold them for as long as I can. Okay.
I'll move to go tell the others.
And you, as you walk away, you hear the very light, almost non-existent footsteps as this entity just
Stand back. If it will make a run, I will hold him for as long as I can. My spirit is protected in the tree, Babar. So long as it stands, and so long as I have what little life remaining, my goal is to keep you here until you wish to go.
Do I hear him say that bit about the tree?
He is out of earshot and whispering this to Death.
And if we kill Kurotak,
Then I will rest easy.
then we shall kill Kurotak.
Then let me weaken him.
What should we do before then?
Protect the child and be ready to leave.
I will protect my home. With you.
Stand back.
And as you look, Babar, all of the rest of you begin to hear this almost this unearthly chattering and clattering of weight and footfalls. Harlan, you have stepped back into the center of the one as you...
When I hear that, I just look down. All right, Alice, time to go hide. Come back when it's done.
I'll go to the cave.
If that's where you hide best.
I'll go to the cave.
She turns and just books it, and you notice at this point bare feet, torn and ratty, covered in dirt, and just the long auburn hair that is frayed and seems to have been cut and mangled and tangled begins to just move off in a blur back to the cave where you first found the cave entrance. What you notice now is similar in size to the one on where you first traversed from on the prime material plane, or in this strange overlay type environment and scenario. But a little bit more damp in terms of the water spattering. And all of you just as the strange sound of the beats clacking over and over again. At this point, the entity looks at you, Babar.
He comes. A dear friend. We will end it quickly.
And as it does, you see this two clawed hands claw over the rock. Strange fur-covered entity, antlers extending from just behind the head, the long protruding beak, feathers coming from the back of the forearms. You hear actually give me a perception check, that bar.
12.
12, you hear a slight mutter under the entity's breath, you're not sure what. As he pulls out a long sword that seems to be ancient and hewn as this entity pulls over, he reaches down and, with that roll, stabs into behind the head of this massive entity. No blood exits the wound, but you see this As he lunges forward, leaping into the distance, he looks at you with one final look. Go back to the group. Pull him there. And then the form vanishes, and you watch this massive wall of force slam into the entity in question. I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative for me, please.
Better than last time, but not by much.
Good try in the try.
Better than last
Oh, okay,
time, but
that
not by
works.
much.
Better than last time, but not by much.
Literally the opposite end of the spectrum.
So where's the cave? This is the cave?
Yeah, where am I coming into this?
So I will get everybody set up. Entity is here.
Oh, hey, look, it's what you painted last night.
Yep.
Whoa!
Surprise
And
session.
Right about here. You were
I warned you
investigating
guys,
the
it was an
tree,
owlbear.
And you are right here, Harlan, after having sent the little girl back here, who I'll use representative of a dice.
I've got a D. Well, I might need that.
Okay, so I've got to do what I said and roll for initiative online.
Oh, you're still fucked up, aren't you? Cool.
Okay.
Good thing we have a cleric.
It's fine, I'll just oh.
We have
It's gonna be
20 to
guys.
15.
16.
16? Thank you.
23?
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
Better than last time by
Yep.
a whole bunch.
Yep.
By a whole mess of a lot.
Yep.
Literally by 17. Oh, by 18. 18 better.
Yeah.
Fine. 15 to 10?
14.
Keep going. It's fine, I'm closest.
It's okay. It's gonna take me around to get over there anyway, so.
And 10 to 5?
5.
5, got it. Babar, at the start of the round, at the top of the round, I need you to please make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh, I rolled really well.
You did.
15.
I need you to please roll a d8.
Ooh, it wasn't good enough.
Well, which one of these do I want to roll?
That one.
A 2.
A 2. Good to know. Thank you. Let me get this pulled up, and then we'll get right into it. That's actually super relevant. Roll for me a d4 on odds I control it, on evens you control it.
Let's see. A 1.
All right, thank you. So, as this entity emerges, just the wall of force slamming into it from the entity that you all have known, it seems to be wrapped in this halo of silver white mist. You see the form of Babar, and a trumpeting, echoing sound of just anger, fury, and despair emanating from the entity as he disappears and lands right in front of you all.
Wait, what? What happened?
I think he just raged, and I think we don't know if he controls it or he controls it.
No, I think I missed the description completely
So
for some
as
reason.
You see the trumpeting groan, a similar sound to you hearing once before, Harlan. Instead of this time, a strange, you know what happened. Instead of last time, this time you watch him and just disappear and reappear, landing just in front of Kailani in a protective stance.
Oh, you're exploding again. Good.
Okay, top of the round, Harlan, you're up.
Oh boy. Oh my.
Really, I'm just too far away to do much, so I'm gonna. Where was the last time I saw Mr. Man?
You saw him standing next to Babar, and then you also, I would say, with your, because I have your passive perception, you would recognize the same similar mist. You saw the actions go down of him slam it into and then bash into the form, so you are aware of what has occurred up until then.
Oh, okay.
He's keeping his word.
All right. So is he at the tree, or is he just gone completely?
He
Like,
is
did the
gone.
mist-
You imagine his entity is at this point. It is not visible around you.
Okay. So I'm just gonna move then. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Actually, Can I use? I can use my bonus action to dash.
You can.
So I'm going
You
to
certainly can.
go back the other way because that makes sense.
So, because you rolled an odd?
That's what I'm asking. You control. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that'll be fun.
We'll control an odd or even the same roll next time. At the end, on your turn, should it activate.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And from that point, I would like to ready a dart in case something closes enough with the
Babar? Or any of the...
no, the creature.
Oh, okay, in case the creature closes with...
If the creature closes to where I can figure out how to hit it right.
Gotcha.
I would like to hit it right. If not, I'm gonna let it pass.
Makes sense to me. Okay. Kylon, you're up.
I took out a tree.
Well, forest fires, you start them.
Sometimes.
I'm an elephant,
So
not a bear.
Not in the Feywild,
just
guys.
got a
Not in
really
the
big
Feywild.
nose and
Protect
really
the
big
Feywild.
ears.
Already
Protect
have
the
corruption.
Feywild.
Oh, also we have a lox
Right there.
You got it?
And cast Guiding Bolt.
All right, roll to hit for me, please.
That's a 24.
Jeez. Yeah, let me consult my notes.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll hit.
11 points of lightning damage.
11 points of radiant damage?
No, it's lightning.
Is it lightning for you?
Guiding Bolt?
Yeah.
I thought it was lightning.
No, it should be radiant.
No, you're right. Radiant damage.
The next
Why?
the next attack on the entity has advantage, by the way. I forgot that in the bear round, so the next attack on the entity has advantage. I don't know if Harlan would know that. So, alright, as you reach out your hand once more, you all notice the same radiant, glowing, bright yellow light tinged with a light blue streak out and your the eyes now locked on you. You see them orange and glowing and pulsing with hate. The similar strange black tar-like substance eking out from beneath the feathers as it just stares at you. Next up is Carter.
It is not within 30 feet of me, is it?
No.
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, just out. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would cancel out.
Yeah.
Carter's going to go ahead and do something crazy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kind of get up behind the tree. 45 feet away. Okay. Kind of make sure I'm hiding behind the tree there. This thing looks scary, right?
It's disturbing. That's the best word for it. It is a very clear corruption of something that was once powerful and good and now been reduced to this husk, much like the area that you are in.
So I'm just gonna kind of act like I'm hiding behind the tree a little bit,
Okay.
looking straight at the thing. And I'm going to go ahead and under my breath mutter a few words.
All right.
And going to send a disorienting spike of psychic energy into this thing's mind. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
That is a 9.
All right. So you take 6 points of psychic damage.
6 points of psychic damage.
And your next saving throw before the next turn has a negative D4.
All right. Perfect. It's the next saving throw taken?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make a note of that. Is it -4 or negative
excuse
D4?
me, the negative D4. The first time it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn.
End of your next
It
turn.
must
Thank
roll a D4 and subtract it from
I
its
made a
save.
note of it. Remind me of it if I miss it. Okay. As it in the middle of a
Well, I
charge,
figured
you
you
all
could do
hear
that.
you all hear it shriek out in
Once I
pain
saw that, I
as it
figured
begins
you
to
could
toss
do
its
that.
head from side to
That's not
side,
gonna think about it.
shrieking out in a bright, in just this terrible yell of pain as its eyes close. The antlers whip around, tearing bits and pieces of the bushes in the vicinity, spraying bits of the strange, inky blackness from its form. As just it looks around for the source of its pain, unable to locate anything but its eyes lock on you, Babar.
Ooh.
It is your turn.
My turn?
No, it's my turn. I apologize.
You still rolled like shit.
You can just get there.
Yes.
Your attack will have advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
22.
22 will hit. Roll for damage for me. You got that sneak attack for a lot of reasons.
6 and 4, 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Nice. As you pull out a dart and throw it as it begins to lumber in, it strikes it in its side just beneath the antler on the left
That is
side.
20 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it
Then yeah, I do that.
Alan, can I get a point of order? He goes after me, right?
He does.
The creature? Okay.
Yep. He does indeed. So if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, it applies. So it is going to make its 2 attacks on you. The first with the beak, Babar. That is a 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
What? Okay.
Let me consult my nut. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice if you
You
got
take
healed in between, huh?
12 points of piercing damage, halved to 6, because you are raging.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
You barely make the save. As you feel the same similar seeping corruption, your rage, you just flex and shrug it off.
Bear.
Next is the claws. That's cocked. Oh, it's the same roll. That is a 20 to hit.
Oh.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That hits.
Really? I thought it'd be better than that.
Oh, I rolled garbage.
Maybe.
9 points of slashing damage, halved to 4.
Okay.
As the claws rake into you and just...
You have Twitch? Go look at the hit points yourself.
I got the Twitch overlay to track the health points. I don't know what that voice was. You got Twitch overlay.
I should probably look.
It is gonna locked on you now. Its head begins whipping around, trying to find its next victim after slicing into you a number of
I don't know
times.
how to
Seeing
work
that you're
it, I just
bleeding
know
form
it
in front of
shoot
it,
up.
just it is intelligent beyond what you originally considered its measure was. Next up is you, Babar, raging and in front of it, having taken damage.
Cool. Well, I'm raging, and now I don't have to go up to it, so I'm gonna swing at it. No, I'm not gonna be reckless with it. I'm just gonna rage.
What?
That would be a 12.
A 12 for this one, and the damage is taken. The 12 just hits.
Nice. So 1d9 plus 6.
So that now.
11.
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Nice. As you did you add the rage damage?
Yeah.
Good. As you slice into it, the glaive, you just see it cut through, and beneath it, it strikes true, but you just see it kind of shrug off the hit. It's not hard to hit, but it is a sack full of health, is what you're gathering.
Bonus action?
Yes, you do have a bonus action.
I'd like to use it. But
Hit
you
it.
control.
Oh yeah, you do. So please roll a d4 on an odd. I do it on an even. You do it.
2.
All right, control it. You got 20 feet.
Sorry, bud.
It's all right.
It's a maze and D&D
On the computer,
20
there's
feet.
just a little button.
I didn't see a button.
to an unoccupied
I
space.
can't see it on my phone.
I can't see it on the iPad.
Yeah.
Pull it up here.
You just gotta be on the computer.
The answer is 4.
Okay.
Alrighty.
It's carpets now.
As you slice through it once more, you are able to then, feeling this blood pumping, you feel a sense of control and calm come over it almost. Calm within the storm of this anger and rage. And you're able to access the same energy that you felt before that relocated you, and with focus, remove yourself and reappear behind the great beast. Will it be your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Alright, you all witness this happen.
That's a neat trick.
That was cool.
Top of the round, Harlan, you're up.
I'll remember none of it.
You don't know that yet.
Is anybody actually closed with it?
Right now, no.
I'm right behind it.
You're 10 feet away, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is not within its melee range.
Huh.
Well, that's unfortunate.
You
Yeah.
guys are making it really difficult for a rogue, you know that, right? Is he big enough to hide behind, maybe?
Me?
Yeah, you. Alright, well, I need to be within 20 feet of it, and an advantage, and I can't do any of that. So I'm just going to move. Just going to take a couple of steps to the side. And hold my action for the same conditions as last time.
You got it. Understood. Thank you. Kylander, you're up.
Does it... If I were to use my bonus action to disengage just to have it, does that become relevant later? Because...
I believe the effects of disengage end at the end of your turn.
Uh-huh.
But let me look into that because I'm not positive, but I believe they end at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So consult the book. Kylander, what do you got going on?
I think I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead.
All right, that is a wisdom save.
Yep.
That's a 14 on the nose.
He makes it, so nothing happens.
All right, you hear this boom, and then
Oh.
you get the-
You need to take
Oh,
a
I
minus
do.
D4.
minus 1d4.
Minus 1D4.
It's a 12. He does not make the save, and he has taken damage.
Woo!
Thank you for
Nice.
the reminder, sir.
I was
Good
hoping
catch,
I-
good catch.
hoping I could use it, but it'll work for him.
That is 2 points.
2 points of necrotic. Did you roll a d12?
I did not. Thank you. 7 points.
7 points of
Nice.
necrotic damage. As you see it strike into its form, you notice that while it does affect the entity, it doesn't do as much as you thought it would.
Okay, and then I'm gonna move. And that will end my turn.
Harlan, rest of the turn. So if you wanted to take bonus action, disengage, you could, and for the rest of the turn, you can't provoke.
Perfect. I don't know if it'll help at all, but...
Nope, I just wanted to double check. Rest
Okay.
of the turn.
Nope, won't help. But
Consulted the book. Okay.
Book
7
says
points.
this.
Okay, so next step would be, is that your turn, Kylandy?
Yes.
All right, next up we have Carter.
All right, seeing how it hit Babar, and it seems that he's doing pretty rough. Damn it. Didn't really want to do this, but fuck it. Might as well.
his figure of speech.
I'm going to go ahead,
Of the evening.
still kind of tucking from behind the tree, knowing that everyone's kind of looking at this thing. I'm going to continue to mutter. When a verbal component,
Yep.
does it matter the volume? Because I know I'm saying something, but can I just for I would say it just I wouldn't like shout like fireball, but I'd kind of like
Well, you
Are
could.
you sure you wouldn't? feel
I
like
mean,
you-
not
So-
yet.
If you were a
You
bard
can-
wizard.
I'm not gonna Leroy Jenkins like shout it, but
So
like
the verbal component and the form of the verbal component is unless. So if the verbal component means the entity has to hear it, i.e., dissonant whispers.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Then it would apply.
but like
That's-
I can just kind of talk it like
But
this.
the nature of the spell is you have to speak words to ensure it happens
Okay.
and bring it into being.
So I would, from behind the tree in my vantage point, again, mutter some words to myself, not too far out loud, but, and just kind of flick my cane, and I'm going to cast Id Insinuation.
All right.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Let's use a dice that hasn't messed me up this evening. That's a natural 19 plus 1 for 20.
Well, never mind.
Gonna keep using this here dice.
It does not do anything.
All right. So as you see, as you all are engaged in combat, Cardi, you duck up behind the tree, mutter words under your breath, and flick the cane. As you do,
Hold, please.
Hold
So
it.
it's a concentration spell.
Yep.
You need to make the wisdom saving throw or be incapacitated, but since
Yep.
you make it, the damage then doesn't affect it, correct?
you are correct.
Okay, so
Unless the
that's...
spell specifies otherwise.
Well, it says make a or be incapacitated at the end of each of its turn. It takes 12. Okay, no, and then it makes another wisdom saving throw. So
Yep.
it passed it.
So at the end of its turn, I'll need to make another wisdom saving throw to see if it takes damage.
Well, the spell ends after you make it, so like
Oh,
it
noted.
just it
Good enough.
doesn't.
Thank you. All right.
Well, shit.
Will that be your turn? You have a bonus action.
Does it see me?
You gather that it is facing your direction and it is looking about for individuals in which to attack, and you are in its line of sight, so it does notice your presence.
I'm gonna back up 30 feet.
All right.
Knowing that I'm probably fucked. 10, 15, 20. Oh, sorry.
I would say for those of you who aren't in a rage, you notice the whipping and flailing of the, not the flailing, but the movement of the staff and then the movement. That's all you notice.
I liken it to
Like a twirling?
like a little like
Like swish and flick?
Not like big swish and flick, but you know in Order of the Phoenix when Sirius Black does the nice little thing before he falls through the thing, like just kind of that.
Good thing covering up.
I didn't say what it was from.
No, I was being sarcastic. I was being funny. No worries. Next up is going to be Kurotak's turn. Anything for your bonus action, or is that all?
I do not have anything I can do for a bonus action.
You got it. Kurotak just kind of seeing this individual back up,
Funny
looks
thing I
around,
noticed is the cleric walked around you, so
and
he saw
sees
you.
the next closest thing to it being Kylandi, and is going to turn and take its 2 attacks at Kylandi. As it approaches the melee range, you want to take your action, Arlen?
It depends on which direction it's walking, to be honest. Am I within 20 feet of it?
Just barely out.
Then
Got it. It wheels around, kind of bringing its claw and beak in one motion to attempt to strike the thing closest to it. Carrying that form and motion, coming at you, beak attack first. Dirty 20. Sorry, it was 13 and I believe it was.
Hits.
Dirty 20 hits. Okay, that is a... That dice rolled well too. That dice didn't. 7 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Wrath of the Storm.
Got it. What is the save?
14.
He does not make it.
what's that?
2.
2 points of thunder damage.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because he got attacked. It's a reaction.
What's it do?
Thunder or lightning damage.
As the beak clamps down on you, you reach into, you
To
grasp your
everybody or
holy
just
symbol.
to-
Oh, wait. Sorry. It was 8 points total.
8 points total.
So it was, and then half to 4.
Have 4?
Yep.
It was lightning, right?
You said thunder, and I
Thunder.
agreed to that first, I believe.
Yeah. Thunder damage?
4 times.
Why was it half?
Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, I
Direct
thought I
thing? It's
failed.
not a
Nope, you made the
wicked
save.
It's
thing?
like
eight.
when somebody, it's like a, like you get hit and it's your reaction.
Oh, God.
It's
All
like
I
a-
saw was you going down too. I was like, oh God.
It's a tempest.
Yeah.
Thunder.
Not only is he not healing, he's killing you now.
So as the beak clamps
good to be
onto your shoulder and then tears away a bit of flesh beneath this
What
momentum
kind of
armor.
save?
That was a con save.
11.
You make the save. You feel a seeping corruption begin to make its way into your form, and you're able to, grasping your holy symbol of cord, be able to glance off the blow.
Every time.
Um,
I'm so
able to avoid that. That's good. I like that. Big plans. But the claw's going to come around and attempt to hit you now too.
Cool.
That's cocked. It's 25. It was a natural 18.
I think it hits.
I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah.
Alan, with the wisdom save you made against my spell, you had a modifier, right?
I did. That is... Wow, I rolled really well on those dice, friend. That is 13 points of slashing damage. Unconscious?
Yeah.
Yep. Bonk.
That's cool.
13 on the nose. All right. As it seeps through, it is now Babar's turn. You are...
I can use my bonus action first, right?
You can. You can use your action and bonus action in any order.
I'm gonna use that bonus action first.
You got it.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Take it.
3.
3.
I control it?
Odds I control it, bud.
Okay.
Blink.
Okay. Okay. Not far off. And then I'm gonna seeing it take out Kylandi, I'm going to recklessly attack.
You got it. Go ahead and roll with advantage, my friend.
21.
Yeah, 21 will hit.
I hope so.
By the way, I didn't tell you this and I should have. It's not looking good. Sorry, I should have told you that.
So it's plus 6. 16.
Good roll.
So, tell me, how does it die?
Seeing it
It
drop.
had 16 hit points.
Nice.
Damn.
Shit.
Seeing it drop Kylandi, knowing that I can now teleport, I will blink to the side of it, assuming its heart is on that side, knowing what I know being back home, and
Yeah.
just right through it.
All right. You blink. You find yourself strangely aware of the circumstance and scenario as you land next to the massive beast. As its eyes turn and glance at you, mouth covered in the blood and inky blackness of the saliva seeping from it and blood of your ally. And you take the glaive, stabbing into its form, and as you do, you hear a shudder as it falls to the ground, dead. All right. As it does so, you all find yourself, the battlefield falling quiet. Each of you, you
Seen
hear
it.
from the tree.
I seen it.
You hear, I can't hold it much longer. From the direction of the tree, you're, I can't hold it. Bring your friend closer, please.
I will.
Man, 20 for first success.
2 successful saves.
Doesn't a natural 20 automatically...
Oh no, natural 20 automatically brings you up to stability.
To 1, right?
Yeah.
1 hit point?
You are stable and at 1 hit point.
Alright, well, upon hearing I don't have much time left, I'm going to sprint back to Alice and grab her.
As you sprint back, she's like peeking her head up from beside the cave and sees you running. Is it okay? I saw it fall down.
Come on!
Okay, coming. And she sprints, grabs your hand, like locked
I
on. And
grab her and I'm
sprints.
carrying her.
Got it. She just swoops up. She's, thank you, Mr. Harlan. Thank you. And she begins running, and now see tears are streaming down her face because of the relief that is sensation washing over her. As Kylan, you come to 1 hit point, are barely mobile and aware. You are now considered stable and not at risk of dying.
I'm gonna
Sprinting
touch
over.
myself real quick.
Okay.
Do I come out of rage now, or am I?
You would be just at this point, having hearing the voice emanate, be able to, and as you do, you are aware of the anger that gripped you.
And like of what happened, everything?
You are aware of 2 moments, specifically. The moment where you first controlled the movement, the strange
teleport.
shift of movement, and then the second moment where you slayed and were able to stab the beast in the fit of rage of seeing an ally fall.
Okay, but did not see Carter do anything.
You would not have been aware of that. No.
Okay, but those are 2 important moments.
There were only 2 individuals who saw the little flick, and that was Harlan and Kylandy, because they were literally staring in that direction.
Were
Where's
they?
my periph?
It was literally in.
Okay.
I had direct line of sight of you,
but
actually.
Harlan had direct line. So, well, Kylandy, you've. Yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. The passive perceptions are what I'm looking at, and that's why I'm saying.
Okay.
So.
Did do it from behind a tree.
You did. I am aware of that.
Okay.
So, okay. So, you hear the shout, and then whatever you like to do. Babar, you come out of the rage ever so quickly, looking at the wounds on your body. Now, your pulsing muscles and a sensation as you find yourself coming to from a rage. You understand the anger that grips you. You understand the moments in time that you felt and controlled it. What would everybody like to do? Kylandy, how much did you heal yourself for?
I rolled an 8, so I got 12 points.
All right, you are. As you touch, I would say the person who sees that happen, there are 2 people. Actually, no, everybody in the vicinity, save Babar, who's coming out of rage and kind of reconciling himself with this. He sees the glowing, healing energy suffuse Kylandy's body as he touches himself on the chest and sees the energy diffuse around his form. Hearing the echo from the tree, what would you all like to do?
I'm bringing Alice forward.
Do you bring Alice and drag her to the edge of the tree?
Is this okay?
She's just in your arms now, just,
Are we gonna go back?
I certainly hope so. That's what I was promised.
We better go back.
you all gather around the edge of the tree.
About
Yeah.
you look like shit.
And as
Maybe I did explode.
Yeah, I'll follow
I
him.
think
Alright.
you
Fuck it.
exploded.
Fuck it.
Can I insight? Just do an insight check.
on what?
Who may have seen?
That would be an intelligence check.
Fuck.
May I?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck it, yes.
Fuck it.
Dirty 20.
30-20. You would know that given the where you were and you poked out, in order for you to get sight on this entity, the only 2 people that you saw, well, you saw 3 people who were in the vicinity, right?
Mhm.
The 3 people who were in the vicinity were Kylandy, Harlan, and Babar. Your allies were all in the vicinity. You're not sure if they saw, right? But you know that they were at least able to.
Okay.
Kylandy's a different one. It was on the periphery.
Yeah.
But the rest, had line of sight.
Okay.
Just in terms of having to have eyes on the entity.
That's fine.
So as you gather by the tree, each of you are suffused with this warm feeling, and you see Phaelites begin to flicker around you, and there's similar coloration from the nights previous. And you hear, almost at a whisper, each of you hear, "Thank you. I am at peace."
Alice, tell the tree sweet dreams.
Okay. Sweet dreams.
And you all get this sensation of warmth and happiness as the world around you once again shifts, although this time less violently, and you find yourself feet landing. The world itself now back and returned to its normal color. And from where you stand, looking at the passives here, Harlan and Kylandi, where you stand now in the middle of the glade in the center of this vicinity, you see a tiny sapling sprouting from the very base, extending perhaps about 5 inches from the center point of the circle of ruins, the semicircle of ruins, where it was not previously. And as you land, the colors once again return to their natural form. The dead of night now giving way. At this point, much more time has passed than you remember. I do need, however, everybody but Babar to give me a wisdom save. Harlan, give me a wisdom save with advantage.
16.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to make a prayer by the sapling.
Got it.
6.
6, got it.
I don't remember.
Wisdom's my thing.
5 with advantage?
Oh, with advantage?
No, for Harlan
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
Kylandi, you and Babar, your memories of your time spent in that section of the glade are unaffected and unaltered. Carter, for you,
Sick.
you have very little recollection of, you have recollection of arriving and recollection of leaving by a large tree. The events in between are muddy. You don't necessarily have a full diagnosis.
Does Alice need to roll?
Alice has rolled.
Okay.
Harlan, as you land, you again have similar memories of arriving and finding Alice. That is very strong memories of, and you have memories of leaving with Alice in your arms. The in-between, it's very muddy. You have certain flashes of memory that I'll send you, but specifically related to anticipating in combat, so you are aware that combat occurred.
Mm-hmm.
But that is it. Alice, at this point, looks around and goes,
You did it! You all are... Can I go home? Dad is gonna be... You're really...
What time
You're
is
Mr.
it?
Harlan?
you are at this point approaching dawn.
Yeah, let's get you home,
Yeah,
Dad.
we can go
So
home.
I'm not putting her down. She's barefoot and beat up. I'm just gonna carry her as far as I can.
Got it. So you all begin making your way out of the glade. You're going to make a prayer by the sapling, as you noticed it. So as you all begin to gather up and make your way, you see Kylandi kneel and pray by a sapling.
This is gonna sound weird, but what happened?
I'll tell you about it on the way,
Okay.
and I will.
The full.
So just arriving and
Every question,
coming
yeah.
back.
Those are the clear memories that you have.
Would I know that I had expended magic?
You would feel that magic had been. So as a wizard and understanding the limitations of your magical power, you would understand that magic has been spent.
I'm very nervous.
Sitting there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So the whole way down, like as you're explaining, like what happened, I'm not gonna ask you like outright, what you saw or what. I'm just gonna be like, so what happened? Like did we fight a beast?
Yes.
You were behind the tree,
I
and I
am
saw your
Not
king.
letting go of Alice because I am also talking to Alice to find
Oh, I
out
might
what
have
the hell
I might
happened.
have dropped
She
it.
is-
And then something
Telling
happened
you
at the thing.
everything.
And
so-
I'm not making it look like I'm getting
Well,
the stuff
I mean,
just from me.
it's
I'm
not.
getting
You
her
wouldn't
whole
know
damn
that.
story and putting together what happened.
So as you all
That's
are
the
walking
way I'm
down,
going to describe it to you, though. So.
Kylandi and
Oh my
Carter, you're
gosh.
having your conversation. Babar, you and
I am silent.
yeah.
Can
Babar,
I
you and
insight
Harlan.
check Kylandi as we go?
What are you looking for?
He
to-
told me my cane did a thing and the thing made a movement.
Okay, yeah. You can give me an insight check to see if he's telling the truth or the intent of the message.
Yeah, because
This
My
would be a
underst-
set DC, by the way.
so my understanding of the spell is that it doesn't do anything physical.
Mhm.
It's all mental. So there's nothing that would be seen
Mhm.
outside of him seeing me do the thing.
Yeah.
And he's telling me something happened. So,
So
now
I think the let me make sure I'm understanding the insight check first. The purpose of the insight check is to determine if this is just his interpretation of events.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Insight.
Yes.
15.
15?
That's my recollection of the event.
Okay.
So.
Oh,
So you
okay.
gather that is Kylandi's representation.
I made
of
a
the
trip.
remembrance.
I mean, no, I'm not a fighter. I hide behind.
I know you like to learn things.
Yes.
As you all are walking
And apparently, I went to the Feywild and don't remember any of it.
down, right, level 2, and you guys picked this. As you all are walking down the side of the peak, Alice is treating
You
you
picked
to.
this.
Alice is telling you everything. How she was walking at the exterior of Calder. There were some farmers who had just come in, and she had been all of a sudden just found herself walking near a really big mountain, and she was halfway up, so she just kept walking, and she kept running into bushes, and it hurt, and she was scared. And then she saw this really big animal beast thing with the feathers, and so she ran away and hid for a while. And then you guys came, and she was really excited because she had been crying herself to sleep the night before, and she was really scared and thought she was never going to get home. And to her, it feels like all that has passed is 2 days.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to her that a lot longer than 2 days has passed. So when you get back to your house, your mom and dad are going to be acting a lot different.
Okay, are they okay?
I think so. I didn't know
Okay.
you were missing, so I didn't
Did
talk
we
to
happen to
them.
meet the Sharps at all when we came into town?
You did not. You
Okay.
all had a pretty direct pathway.
All right.
Do we know how old the girl is that was lost compared to how old the girl is she is now?
You all do not
She's
remember.
2 days older.
Given your activities in the vicinity, having only interacted with,
Yeah, but-
I think, for you, for
Trying
Babar
to see
and
if there's a
Harlan, it
timeline.
would have been interacted with maybe 2 people, and for you, Carter and
Wish I
Kylan, you
was
interacted with 4.
But the child in the
It's several
book
months, but
was a
There's
long
a
time
month.
ago.
Yes, the book was at least. So the book was authored and penned. You would be able to tell it was at least 50 years ago.
Okay, so this is not the same girl.
not the same child.
Okay.
Are you still carrying her? Or is she walking?
Mhm.
You carrying her?
She's got no shoes.
I will carry as well if you need.
I'm fine.
That's the
Besides,
only
she's still
thing I
telling
think.
me her story.
And she goes, yeah, Mr. Harlan, so this is what happened, and I guess I'll just I'll tell people that you all did it.
I'm just asking questions as we go, like of everything that she thinks is minorly interesting. If she starts talking about a flower, I ask about it. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Just
bigger
keeping her
flowers
occupied.
there though. That was nice. There were bigger flowers.
I'm kind of walking in the back. I'm not like blatantly holding myself back, but I'm in the back of the
I
group.
mean, you're getting
Just-
you're getting the tirade of this.
I'm
chat.
just. What did I do?
As you begin making your way down the hill, as you approach towards the base of this, and you remember this is it's not necessarily a large structure. All of you in the distance begin seeing lights of torches of a group of about 5 or 6 individuals, humanoid, looking around, and you hear a familiar voice. I don't know where they might have gone. It was only not 2 days ago. Do you think the same thing happened to them? And you hear an unfamiliar men's voice. I don't know, but if the same thing happened to them that happened to my little girl. Cold was cursed.
Alice, do you
Carrying
remember
her
where
away.
you lived? Like, can you take me to your house?
Yeah.
Let's start going. Point me in the direction.
She points down and she goes,
I heard Daddy's voice.
Well, let's go that way first.
and so as she points into the group, you see there's now a group of what look to be 7 humanoid individuals, all of which carrying torches, kind of walking back slowly, almost defeated towards the small village of Calder itself.
Oh,
And
wait,
as you
Alice,
approach-
you want to play a joke?
Yeah.
Gonna get ahead of them so that we are waiting for them when they get back.
Okay. Dad, I'll find it funny.
All
she
right,
kinda
let's go.
whispers. And so you move off to the side.
Yeah.
So I'll say, is anybody going to follow along, or
I'll
you'll
play
hear
the game.
conversation?
Yeah.
So everybody, give me a stealth check unless you are.
I am
I'll just-
silently walking in.
I'll just walk with Babar.
Got it.
As we go, I'll just kind of like step up to catch up and.
16.
You all right there?
Same.
16. You all kind of
I
veer
was
off
home.
and make
That's
your
with
way.
my
They don't
armor.
seem to notice you. They're very deep in
And now I am
conversation.
not again.
They don't seem to notice you as you make a wide berth and kind of get around. And Alice, the whole time, is just kind of giggling and
I may
you're
be
kind of
able to help
shushing her and
you.
tell her to stay quiet. She's
Not
still
now,
Mr. Harlan.
but I can try to help you.
laughing to herself.
Your daddy's gonna be so surprised when he gets back.
That's so exciting.
I hope that someday.
So you two, as you're
When
walking-
sorry, we were having a little side conversation
No worries.
about how I help him. When I got to the Feywild, do I remember seeing anything like flora, fauna?
You remember it being densely jungle and vegetation, and the last thing you remember is going up to investigate the tree.
Okay. Okay. So I don't remember seeing like a particular plant or.
I think you could give me an intelligence check to remember specific kinds
19.
19. You do remember seeing, outside of what would be considered standard in the norm, your memory harkens back to strange vines and flowers that are all sort of,
How far are these people away from us?
You are currently, you're walking directly behind them, and you're walking at a faster pace than they are, so you would intercept. You're about...
But are they the people that are coming towards us? They're
Their
still...
backs are to you as they are walking in the same direction you are. You are just approaching them. You're about 80 feet away at this point.
So, as we continue that conversation, I can help you. Not yet, but I'll help. And you said the thing, and I will make sure no one's looking, and I'll hold out a hand, and I will cast Minor Illusion to make an illusion of the plant that I remember seeing.
And you see a very familiar vine that would have been at the edge of the autumnal veil.
And then very quickly I'll let it go away.
But that is just illusion.
But I hope you get back. Might take some time, but I might be able to learn how to do it.
And I'll stick my hand out and hold it like he did.
Like, and I'll cast it again, but this...
So, are we retconning the friend, like when...
Yes.
Is that... Okay. So I'll hold my hand out.
Like to shake it, or to like...
Like as you were doing it, and then seeing your confusion. And wait to see if anything happens.
Nope.
Okay.
Then we shall see.
As you two walk, the rest, you two have already
Just
gone a
might have
pace and
made a
you are
friend.
approaching the gate. You are
I've
now
never had one before.
100 feet ahead of them, kind of hiding behind what would be one of the smaller gates to the interior of the village.
No, I'm fully standing in the middle of the gate
You're
with
standing-
Alice in my
yeah,
arms.
Standing in the middle of the gate, Alice in the arms. They are about 100 feet away. They did not see you kind of slip and get in so deep there into conversation because as Babar and Carter, you walk up behind them, you see the familiar form of Lucy, the innkeeper from the Sleeping Griffin, the last known individual inside of the town of Calder. Look like you. Oh, tell us be praised. There you are. Where's the rest of you two? Where are they? Are you okay? Where did you go? Why did you leave? Is it something I said? Is it because what did you drink from the...
I am continuing walking to the Slippery Griffin.
It's been a...
Do you need hot food?
That would be lovely. I'd love a shower. I'd love to clean my clothes. And I would love a bed.
I'll make you some hot food. I'll make all of you some. Where have you other
Also,
two?
is there a Mr. Sharp? Wow, that was a bad transition.
Mr.
Sorry.
Sharp.
Mr.
Sharp.
You see a gentleman standing. He's a little bit portly. He has deep auburn hair, very similar to the hair that you've seen on Alice. Kind of combed over and very, very thick up in the front.
My name is Mr. Sharp.
Nice to meet
Pleasure
you.
to meet you. My name is Bernard Sharp.
Nice to meet you. You're a farmer, I hear.
Yes.
What do you grow?
Well, it's been all manner of vegetables. I've started farming up north, just to the west of Highfield, but moved down here to Calder.
Nice. I like farmers, that's all.
Okay.
In the back of my head, I'm like, I could have told him, but I really want to see how this plays out.
Got it.
So I don't spoil it.
So you are greeted by individuals you recognize, and they are pelting you off questions, Babar, even as you walk through. As you approach, Vincent approaches you, Carter.
You gave me quite a worry there, son. Everything all right? It's been 3 days. I figured you'd come and help with the linens.
I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked.
Well,
Help with the
glad
wind.
to see you're safe.
Remember?
Yeah.
It's the first thing we promised to do.
Yeah. How's your wares go?
Nope. Well, it Remember was that. pretty successful, actually. We still got most of the decorations up in Candlelight. Folks have been pretty worried about y'all.
Oh, it turned into a bigger ordeal than it needed to be, but new acquaintance Babar just
You hear a little voice
we're kind of
by your hip say, "Oh, I know Babar. He helped me clear the farming problems, actually." And
the what?
Name's Dasso Buck. Babar helped out not too long ago clear a beastie from the farm.
Well,
Sounds like about right. He's
Not really.
he's very he's,
as far as she knows.
he's very handy.
Dasso's a
He was more of a punching
That's what I
bag,
said.
really, for that one.
right. You see,
Just stand there and distract it. You're fine.
And
in the
low
group, I would say, Carter, you see Bernard, Vincent, the gentleman who introduced himself as Dasso Buck, Lucy, and then two individuals you don't know. One who is a female-looking, you would identify her as a half-elf, and then another halfling gentleman who seems to be quite thin, with sweeping long black hair, and a monocle, weirdly enough. It seems out of place given the town of Calder, but a monocle seated on his, and the half-elf and this gentleman are deep in conversation.
I'm going to give everybody a good look once over.
Okay, give me a perception check.
I can't believe they still haven't seen us.
15.
15? You get a decent look at all of them. They all look worried. They
You
all look-
knowing what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they all look worried. They all look tired. He does not look to carry himself in that way.
Okay.
But the way he's speaking with the female half-elf and the others in the vicinity, he seems to carry some level of import within the town. You're not necessarily sure how.
What was Alice's dad again? Bernard?
Bernard.
Be
As
sharp.
you approach, you guys, at about 40 feet out, you notice that Lucy looks over and sees the two of you standing as figures inside the gate. She goes, you hear her exclaim, "Well, I'll be! They've made it back as well! Goodness! And who's that they got with them?"
Someone.
And you see the gentleman, the rather portly individual, just, Alice? And
Yep,
he begins
we
to
found your daughter.
sprint, and he comes up forward to you, and he's just, at this point, weak at the knees, eyes tearing up and welling with tears, staring at you. Alice.
Why don't we just get you all home right now? Come on.
All right. And he passes over to you. He begins hugging, petting her hair. So good to see you. It's been so long. It's good to have you home. Mom's going to be so pleased.
Let's go get to Mom. Come on. I walk with
They
him
begin
to
walking
get him out of there.
As they begin walking out,
It's okay, Dad. Don't worry. These nice be Mr. Harlan, Mr. Kailani, the big elephant fellow, and then the man in the hat. His name's Carter, I think.
Did I happen the path? Did I see the reuniting?
You did watch it very quickly over your left shoulder.
Okay.
You were able to witness it as well. And as he begins talking, he looks at you and kind of, in one hand, clasped it on your shoulder, and says, "We posted a reward for Finder.
Just
We'll get it
let's
to you
go
in the morning.
home. Come on,
We'll get
just
you in
let's
the
go
morning."
home.
And he begins carrying her and says, "All right." And you see them navigating through the streets. You find your way back to the central square. There's just a sensation of relief. Looking around the town of Calder, you see that there are decorations still adorned, banners hanging in dark purples and blues, adorned with yellow paint, celebrating the festival of Candle Night with scenes and scenery of flames and small candles and lanterns, all hung. Every 6 or so feet, you actually notice a pole that has been mounted into the ground ever so lightly, and at the very tip of it, you look at an open lantern in which is held a candle, some of which are still burning, the others which have burned down to the very lowest wick, seemingly having burned all evening had these have been new candles throughout the vicinity. You would imagine that in the evening this would look like small little dots of light, almost like wisps, throughout the entirety of the vicinity. You notice that there are a number of stands and carts set along the two main thoroughfares of this small village, of which you would imagine would have been filled with wares and goods for sale, both crops and farmed goods, or goods created by the individuals in the town. As you pass by, Vincent kind of nudges you and goes,
Well, that there's my tent, Carter. Take a look at it. The linen's all gone. That's not because I packed them away.
you find yourself emerging into, as the sun rises over this, after the evening of Candle Night, back into the village of Calder. Lucy, looking at each of you, says, I'll prepare the rooms and get the meal ready for you, and get your beds. I imagine you must be so tired. In the meantime, you lot help Mr. Sharp take him back to his home. And you said,
I've got that covered.
all right, thank you, Alan.
Mhm.
I'll see you back inside. Make you a nice hot plate.
I'm gonna make sure Alice is taken care of before. But
Absolutely, we'll have it waiting for you. So you walk with Mr. Sharp as Lucy gestures you all back inside the Slippery Griffin, the same sort of open and inviting. You look inside, all of the lights and candles are still lit. The hearth is aglow with the barest of embers, seeming having been left awaiting for the arrival that never came.
I'm gonna sit outside and wait for Harlan and just sit there.
Got it. As you sit down in Sentinel, you see you feel one hand on your shoulder, and you look and see Lucy look down at you, and she nods for a moment. There's a little bit of a tear at the edge of her eye. I'll bring you a glass of water. And she goes inside, and then a few moments moments later, return to the glass. After gesturing you, Carter, and you, Kylandy, in, she immediately sets about bustling around back behind the long, curved L-shaped bar into the kitchen within the small expanse of the octagonal tavern and inn.
How dirty am I?
You're pretty dirty. It's been a night of camping without very much in way of...
How muddy am I?
Pretty darn muddy.
The morning
You also
after,
notice
technically.
at this point, as you look at your clothing, your boots are caked in this strange black, like caked on mud, on black, almost thick, viscous liquid that has been since dried against your boots, or your shoes rather, under the caked on mud and dust from the trek. As she begins setting out, you just kind of hear Lucy muttering to herself as she goes about her morning preparation. You see her and hear her begin to process the events and attempt to kind of gather. There's been a lot that's happened in this short period of time, the returning of this child, and then your return after so quickly vanishing on a direction that she sent you. You can just hear her kind of working through that internally. Harlan, as you walk, you just hear, kind of as a silent sentinel, you hear Alice and Bernard carry on their conversation, with Alice sharing the entire story of what has happened.
I am 100% verifying Alice's story to her father and explaining that she really thinks it was only 2 days, and that is correct. In her
Like through tear-stained eyes welling up, he looks back and forth and says, Alice, it's been much longer than that.
Not for her. You just have to get past that.
Okay. It's good to have her home, though. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get both of you home.
And you walk him and take him to it. It's a smaller abode on the interior, seemingly one story, more of a ranch style home. As he goes to open the door, you see a woman inside sitting at a table through a window with a lamplight on, of the wick of a candle wearing down, and it's almost down to its last ember of flame in the candle wick.
Mm-hmm.
The same sort of, this woman, as opposed to the auburn hair, has a very deep brown, kind of almost a bob around the framing the back is what you can see her. And as the door opens, you see her head turn around, eyes bloodshot, face tired. What is once a very attractive woman who has turned around and just, Alice! And she runs back and embraces, and the three of them get together in a hug, and they're just sharing this moment together, having been reunited after what has been a harrowing moment for the two of them. And you kind of hear Bernard whisper at the time,
It's only been 2 days for a dear. Don't say anything other than that, all right? No need to scare her. This fine gentleman behind me brought him back. Him and his friends. They all did it.
and as he passes Alice over to,
He says, all right. Thank you. Cecile, will you take her upstairs?
and Alice goes,
Thank you, Mr. Harlan. I'm gonna go get clean.
and she just kind of looks and she
Cecile goes, yes, you are, dear. We'll get
Good
you
idea.
clean.
Bye, Alice.
Bye, Mr. Harlan.
And she, kind of unaware of the severity of the situation, is ushered upstairs by a mother who's just continually stroking her hair, making sure that she's real, kind of too good to be true. And at the same time as she disappears, not upstairs, I'm sorry, bed to one of the back rooms of the home, Bernard steps up forward and he's carrying with him a leather satchel.
This is the reward that we promised. I know you didn't see it. You must have seen it posted. We lost hope. We did. But you brought it back. So this is for you, and split it amongst yourselves.
That's not the payment I negotiated for. You're fine. You don't owe me anything. I'm here to tell you, and I basically tell him that I'm with Port Thornstead Authority, and if he needs assistance with this girl, to contact me through them.
All right, I'll leave it here. If you want to take it, take it.
But he sets it down. He just seems to not. You're gathering at this point. It's too much for him to kind of take in. So he hears what you're saying, but is not able to really register it, and he just kind of sets it down on the small table.
Do you have a piece of paper?
I do.
And he runs and he grabs it and he brings it back. I need a quill. And you see him very much disheveled. And
I've
runs
got
back
me
to the
own.
quill.
Don't worry about it. And I pull the quill out of my bag and I just leave a note with my name and who to contact through Port Thornstead
Understood.
if Alice needs
Got it.
help.
And he looks at his.
My eternal gratitude. Thank you.
And he says, and he reaches out a hand to shake the hand. He says, Thank
I
you so much.
shake his hand. Enjoy your daughter. And I leave.
Make your way back to the Slippery Griffin?
Yep.
All right, so as you're making your way back, what would the three of you like to do? You're still sitting outside waiting for Harlan. The two of you, at this point, Lucy has made a whole manner, like a breakfast spread.
Corner spot on the bar.
All right, you got it. she's kind of dropping it on you. Carter, where would you like to be at this point?
I'll just kind of be sitting in a corner, cleaning myself off.
Same table,
Rags,
she
yeah.
kinda- She keeps bringing you more and more of the wet rags for you to kind of take care of yourself and clean up. She goes, it's quite messy. Quite messy.
guess-
You what?
Guess so, thank you.
And she keeps bringing the plates. I'm gonna upset. Are the plates
Hot,
for you as well?
hot tea, by chance.
We forgot tea. Yeah, of course. I set it by the fire.
Mead.
I'll have one as well. And she brings you a mug of mead and sets down one by you, Carter, just kind of and just
Mead?
caught up in the circumstance.
Is Kylandy near me?
Kylandia is sitting at the corner bar, and it's not necessarily a large
You
octagonal
couldn't
space, so
even
you'd
watch
be
me
sitting at a table
that time.
that's maybe about 10 feet
Okay.
at most away.
But she gave me a mead?
Yeah, she's just giving literally anyone and everyone inside, which is only the three of you at this point in time, a beverage.
I'll pick up the mead.
And she's also brought you the hot tea, by the way. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right next to it. She's
I'll just kind of.
I'm going through the
I'll
motions.
be right back. I'll pick up the mead and I'll walk outside.
You walk outside and see that Babar has a glass that she's brought out, a goblet of water that
Yep. And I'll
brought
just
up previously.
walk out to him. Are you sitting down or?
Yeah, I'm like sitting, leaned. Just
I'll give him the mead. This might help. I don't know.
not tonight.
That's fair.
I'll kind of nudge it back.
I'll go give it to. I'll just walk in and give it to whoever's closest to me.
So it'll just be you and Kylandia.
Oh, there's nobody else in the.
No, you're
Yeah.
all-
I just-
It's like 6 a.m.
This
I
is
just
like
give it
you're-
back to him.
You're at like 5 o'clock in the morning at this
Yeah.
point. After
Sorry.
A reminder.
I'll take the second break.
Sorry, I don't drink.
At this point, Babar, you would see Harlan turn a corner and walk his way down across the center portion of the city back towards you. Harlan, you see, as you approach the exterior of the Slippery Griffin, you see Babar seated at the edge of the stairs leading to the front entryway, leaning against the exterior of the building.
Okay, I'm still heading back to the Slippery Griffin.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
don't- You don't scam me.
It's just that's where
That's how it leads in.
Hanan in
Alice is home, big guy. Sorry or not.
in Feywild. My tribe deals with many different people, the lesser of which use the mind talk. I do not know what he said to you, but I am glad he did. Thank you for helping.
You're welcome.
You did not have to go.
I did after I talked to him. I'm gonna go upstairs.
And Harlan,
As you open the door, you hear him shout once more.
I do rage.
Yes, I know. And I go upstairs.
You head upstairs, you can see Harlan walk inside, and Lucy, as soon as you enter, attempts to like overwhelm you with plates of food and beverages. Would you like anything at all? Anything? Just rest? Rest? Okay, rest. I'll stop talking. Okay, got it. I'll put it in Kailandi. He's hungry. And I'll just and you see her skitter off and put it in front of Kailandi. Kailandi, rather.
Yep, just right upstairs
Head up.
to bed.
And head upstairs and hop in bed. What would the rest of you like to do in this?
Before I head in to go to bed, I'm going to close my eyes and try to channel the teleport, but trying to make it to the Feywild.
Make a wisdom check.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
Oh, 11.
11. You close your eyes for a moment and you reach for the feeling that you had when there was the movement that you had, that teleportation. And in the back of your mind, you kind of sense this knot in the back of your head, which is this thrumming mechanism that you were unaware of before. You may have always had it, you're not sure, but you sense it as a part of you. And you feel yourself needling it just a little bit, and a little bit of the anger spills out. That sort of defensive, and what you gather from it is this desire to protect. This is the mechanism that not only protects you, but others. And you feel it in the back of your mind. And in the shock of that slight bit of feeling entering your mind, you release.
Great. Okay. Then I'll head in and grab a plate of vegetables. I'm hoping she prepared vegetables.
You get in there, and knowing what she talked about the last time, she goes, I didn't make you enough last time, but I've made you everything in my kitchen.
Do you want a mead? You don't have to drink it through your trunk. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stared, Beba. If that's why you left.
Oh, I should not have gone upstairs. Shit.
I am only
I chuckle.
Loxodon. You have seen it. Is
Did I
fine.
offend you though? I feel like that's why you left, Beba.
Not at
Are you
all.
sure?
I do it because is funny.
You see her like.
Fuck it. Carter,
I'm
me
laughing.
figure of speech.
You see
I'm in the
her-
corner just
You
laughing.
see so Carter's laughing his ass off, and you see her look back and forth and go. She reaches out and pats you on the side of the arm. It is Beba. Perhaps. So use it among friends, yeah?
Yes.
We're friends.
Yes.
I did not offend you.
No.
Thank you. You're welcome to stay here the rest of your nights. We'll do it prorated. Don't worry about it.
Do you have big enough bed?
I think I do.
If not, the stable will do fine.
Stable's outside, baby. I'm keeping you here where I can keep an eye on you.
Fuck it.
I don't know if it applies, but
Just-
I'll accept it.
I am now making full use of this.
Seems fair. So,
Every time now, just gut-wrenching laughs.
so you all continue eating and drinking.
I want to ask for a bath.
Got it. She, as you ask, she kind
So
of
level 3
notices.
is barred for you.
We have a
yes?
bathhouse. Up in, it's actually on the second floor on the right hand side. We can bring in hot water. Our blacksmith. You didn't get a chance to meet her, but she.
Barred, but that's
um,
straight.
Her name's Gink. She's
I
made
would
some
like
great.
to meet Yink.
I'd be more than happy to. She's made this delightful mechanism where we can heat up water through flame. It's almost like a condensed sort of bathhouse, and we've got it inside here. Nobody else in this stuff has it close to the oasis. Use it.
Have I heard of this before?
Heat up stones. Give me an intelligence check.
I will go use it. Thank you for breakfast.
12.
12. You've heard of a singular similar location, bathhouse,
Mhm.
in Tamal.
Okay.
Because there would be one near where you stay.
Yeah.
So they're all like that.
Lucy,
Yeah.
any chance I could have my clothes cleaned overnight?
Leave him. Take care of it.
Awesome. I'll just leave them outside the door.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Yes.
clean myself after Kylandy.
You guys. Kalandi, and she shouts as you're going up the.
Yes.
All you have to do to remove the water is there's a separate reservoir up top. Pull it down, and you can drain yours from a small little hole in the rear. So that way you can change water. It's really you can only do it twice.
I
But,
think I understand what you said.
okay.
Save some for me, please.
Is that the bar? What?
Thank you for coming back. I'm glad to have you here.
I don't think I've ever seen a water heater, so.
Nope. And like what I would say with that intelligence roll, Carter, you know it's rare.
Yeah. But like the thing is, like, would I have seen one or heard of one
You would
before?
have seen a large scale
Yeah.
one of these, but it's.
Would I have been used to hot water?
It's still rare.
Okay.
You'd have, in your experience, this is a luxury that we've been paid for.
Okay.
So the fact that it's being offered freely.
Yep,
Okay.
going.
Yeah. So you all continue, Kylandy and Carter. You all bathe and get clean. Carter, you leaving your clothes.
I take everything out of my pockets.
Got it. Everything's
Wink.
out. Ensuring it's in the room with you.
And I lock the door,
You got it.
and I put a chair in front of the door as well.
Got it. You all go to bed. Anything else anybody would like to do before bedding down for the evening?
One more time before I go to bed, I'm gonna try to go back
Well,
to the
it's
thing.
morning, isn't it?
Wisdom
Oh, yeah.
check. Yeah, it is morning.
One more time before the morning.
Yeah. You all also, your long rest was interrupted, I should say. So at this point, you're all kind of running. Well, yours was not because you took a 4-hour meditation, so you're set for the day if you wanted to do things today.
Oh, I could do that now.
I'm passing out.
You passing out?
I'm like I say, I'm gonna try one more time. But
I'm going to check windows. I'm going to look outside
Mhm.
and see if there's anybody on the street.
At this hour of the morning, there's really not much happening.
Okay. And I'm going to do a good look
Ooh,
over of the
I
room.
guess after my meditation, I'll go meet the blacksmith.
Okay. So you're passing out to sleep. You're checking the room.
Then going to sleep.
Harlan, anything you'd like to do?
I mean, nothing specific, just his normal routine at night. Or the,
Got it. And then your 4-hour meditation. So wisdom check, please. Babar.
wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
Do
Were you gonna rage in your sleep now?
16.
once more you focus in and you feel that knot of yourself that you've kind of never really been aware of previously. And as you poke and pry it, it's still in the back of your mind. You feel the anger release and you allow it to once more suffuse you. And you don't go into a full rage, but you understand how to tap into this.
If it makes difference story-wise, this is more to get me back to the Feywild, less about the rage and more.
So I would say in your attempts to, this is
That's what I gained.
the understanding of, like, this is the sensation that I was experiencing at the time this happened, right?
Piecing it together.
That would be how the approach would have to be at least in my would be conducted.
I like it. Okay.
Sure.
So I feel it. I kind of understand more about it, but
Right. So as more of like, this is the avenue to when that happened.
okay. Okay. And then I'm out.
And so you all bed down for your long rests, weary, although feeling proud. Some of you somewhat confused, perhaps a bit nervous. As a group, the items being pieced together of your first true foray into this experience, having been welcomed back with open arms and worry, is a nice feeling, right? Knowing that you were cared about even for being in a location for such a short period of time. It's refreshing. It's odd. The genuine approach from the town was a nice change. You all drift off into your own bits of sleep. Some of you taking longer to find rest than others. Some of you quickly going to sleep. Others
Takes me a
jittering,
while.
taking a minute. As you all bed down into your rest, you all actually will be level 3.
Oh shit!
Nice.
So
D&D Beyond.
while we are here and you are getting your long rest, let's go ahead and have you guys roll your hit dice. Reroll your
rolled an
ones
8.
because there's nothing worse.
Do I roll an 8 or a 6? I hope I roll an 8 because I just rolled an 8.
I rolled a
For-
2.
Roll a 2, thank you. For a rogue, it is an 8, I believe.
Cool.
5.
5 from your D12.
Oh, I thought it was a D10.
Bro, you're a barbarian. That's a D12.
Yeah. It's like the best thing about it.
11.
My 8.
Yeah, that's good.
That's way okay.
Look,
Sure.
it's my 8.
Can I?
6.
6 on your D8, perfect. So go ahead and start the process of leveling up there. You guys did a lot. So we will pick up there for everybody at home. We will pick up there next week as we determine our next steps together. There's the world is your oyster, and Anna, your Calder and its citizenry is happy to have you back. And even more so pleased that you were able to find the safe return of one of their own. So that is where we're going to end it this evening. Thank you guys so much for coming and playing. Thank you, those of you who have watched, so much for coming and watching. Can't wait to do this again, and we will see you all next week.
See you next week.
See you next
Bye-bye
week.
now.
Tuesdays, am I right?
Yay!
Tuesday.